So let's start. I was going to start outside, but it's kind of icky rainy, but I can show you what it looks like. Let's see. I didn't want to go too far outside. But let's see if you can see. It's getting there. It's brighter. Actually, it's not raining so much anymore. There's some blue sky up there. Maybe we could have started outside. But we had some snow last night. I don't know if you can call it second winter or third winter. I can't go too far. I got a tarp underneath my feet here. But everything that came down today is pretty much melted away. But apparently up in the mountain they got quite a bit. It's not a bad view. That tree's a little scary though because it goes quite tall. And it can get quite windy here. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I have nothing to do. I like that, says Torben. Yeah. No, I guess I could have started outside today, but I was feeling kind of wimpy. It was, well, there's a little bit of rain residue down there. See, it was raining. Alex is back in Norway. We'll go get your cat. But yep, enjoy the view outdoors here. How was Austria, Alex? Oops, there you go. And thanks for joining too. There we go. Okay. And then we go inside. If I can do this without falling down. There's two cats hiding beside the door here because they want to go outside. Karl's finished pooping. Okay, and I hear that. Oops, let's see. There. Messy. Everything that was on the... No, I thought about it, but I was running out of time, and then I thought it was still raining. I need a Fuzzy. Come here, Fuzzy. I get every cat but Fuzzy.
Fuzzy comes to me, and all the other ones go to you.
Yeah, bring me Fuzzy. Carla didn't like that I went outside. Okay, yeah, you can hold. I don't need to terrorize. There you go, Alex. It's your cat. And that's your cat's backside. That was your cat. But I got another one here. Hi. You wouldn't make a lot of noise and be annoying and poop and pee all over the place, would you?
I think she is out of that now.
No. So you just cleaned up 2 poops off the floor.
Yeah, but I think only one of them was hers.
There. Oh, she's got big claws. Okay, well, I was going to do a little needle binding, but you actually made it off the toilet.
Yeah.
Good job. Everything come out okay?
I wasn't expecting you to be ready yet. You normally would play in the sun as long as it's up.
Yeah, but you're not. You're usually you're up. There he goes again. He's camera shy, that one.
No, he isn't.
No, I thought you could be up for a while. But did you wash your hands?
Of course I did, woman.
I hope so, because we're going to have ice cream. Experimental chocolate and banana ice cream that can either be really good or really bad.
I'm sure I'll eat it.
Yeah. Go get it.
I'm more uncertain about you, you picky little American, you.
I brought a bowl and some spoons. Well, there's a, was it Sirloins is the name of the ice cream, and they're doing all kinds of like experimental ice creams, usually from a candy bar or God knows what. Anyway, but all of a sudden we noticed one that says banana and chocolate, or chocolate and banana, and it reminds me of those little marshmallowy bananas, scoom bananas in Norwegian. Scoom sounds like scum, but the foam banana ones, they are really sweet. So I don't know, could be good, could be bad. But oh yeah, then we have chocolate sauce too. I forgot about. We can get that. Anyway, I want to say hi. Osmond here, thinking of you. Torben is here. Albert is here. Albert, I think, was the first one today. He sent some pictures of some new Warhammer collections. Robert Reynolds is here. Audra is here. She's soon going to be here. Well, in the village anyway. And Torben not missing a beat. I wrote that I was working more. The color of the month is brown, and the stitch is Zora. So I got these up to the pinkies, and I'm like, but the color of the month is brown, so I picked this yarn because it had brown in it, but the color shifts are so long, I still haven't made it to the brown. And then Torben says, if you hit the brown, you need more Vaseline.
Oof.
Sorry, Karl, how was that? Oof. Okay. Oh, it's Banana Split Tricolor. That was the name of this. But anyway, we'll get to this in a minute. Let's see. There we go. That's what we're going to try today. This is Norwegian, of course. Henning Olsen. There's two kinds of ice cream that are really... Now you want to snuggle, Fuzzy?
You have three. You have Henning Olsen, you have Diplomis, and you have Sørlandsis.
Yeah. This is Sørlands Henning Olsen. Henning Olsen Sørlands. Okay. So who is Henning Olsen, and why is there so much ice cream related to him?
I assume he's an ice cream maker.
Henning Olsen? Maybe. There's that him on the boat?
It would be kind of odd if he was like oil magnate or something.
With a traditional Norwegian flavor of banana? I want some. Everybody wants some. No, I have pretty high hopes for this, but if it tastes like one of those chocolate foam bananas or whatever, those are nasty. They taste like, I mean, Peeps taste better. There, if you're curious about all the ingredients and stuff. I'm pretty sure there are no real bananas in here. Let's see if it's... cream ice cream with vanilla flavor. And then with chocolate flavor and with banana flavor. So, yeah, no bananas died to make this. There we go, sorry. And it's unhealthy as hell. So, let's have that. There's like a... Oh, and you can even... There's some sorting symbols on there now. I don't know if that'll focus, but... Okay, so we'll let that warm up a little bit. Annette just says, now I'm going to be cracking banana split when my gummy kicks in. Well, it could be good. I don't know. I never heard of it, but that was like the new flavor. Oh, sorry.
I assume she wrote craving, not cracking. But...
I like cracking, but I might have read it wrong. Let's see. I've got it on my screen over here. Nope, she said craving. I read cracking. Yep. Now I'm going to be craving banana split when my gummy kicks in. Okay, I gotta get more here. Redispi's here. Alex is here. Torben is here. PJ's here. Let's see, who else am I missing? Then there's the unspoken ones. They're here too. Annette is here. Garcia's here. Roger's here. He says, hello, thank you for the status report on Karl's number 2. It's very important. And Maggie just arrived. She says, we're about to have lunch, but I suddenly want a banana split too. Everybody wants this banana split. I think they have oh no, she's here earlier. She said, happy Saturday from Colorado. Albert says, yeah, I sent you the 11th edition lineup for the Warhammer this year. Worth some kill team setup. I've got to show Karl these too. I don't think he's seen them yet. Let's see. Then, oh, I got to show you what first, because it's a page just happens to be open. I have to show you what my Brit Solstad made. Look at that. It's a blanket. I think it's a tube that just needs to be cut yet. There it is. Every time I think of Easter, it's not complete without a blanket or something made by my Brit Solstad. She's out in Fredrikstad, I believe, in Norway. But see, you recognize those yarns? She's the one that taught me that we can use these anchor yarns, these tapestry weaving wools. But beautiful, beautiful colors, and she makes such gorgeous blankets. Or Afghans, we should call them. Yeah, she makes a lot of wonderful things, too. But for some reason, she screams Easter. She's always got such bright, colorful photos. And there you go. But she's the one that inspired me to use these. I never thought about that. I've got a big bin full of them, but it's just nice to see the way the colors turn out. Yeah, her needle looks really cool, too. If I hold it really still, you can see the carving on there. Or the carving or the lettering, anyway. I haven't seen that one. But she's posted this picture in most of the Nalbinding groups now, I believe, so you can see it. But no, she gives me a lot of inspiration. I like this one. She does so much fun stuff. Let's see. Then we will find, I think that was all. Yeah, there's some more. There's another picture of the needle. Mom and Stitch, I believe she wrote that it was. Yeah, it looks burnt in. Burnt in would be easier. Let's see if I can zoom. Oh no, it might be that circle thing, you know, where you have like it almost looks like a little drill anyway, but it carves these little lines in, and then you just smooth over some tar, and it makes that. They do that a lot, oftentimes in bone, but this appears to be wood. Let's see, there. Okay, and then, but yeah, it looks like a tube. I was wondering how she got her lines so perfect on the sides, but it looks like a tube. She just needs to cut and fix the ends, or maybe she does something around the edge of it. I'm not quite sure. Then we have pictures from Albert in here somewhere. There we go. Here we are, Karl. Wazdaka Gutsmek orcs. You don't have that one, I don't think, do you?
I don't think so either, but I can't really see it from here.
She could crochet around the edges too. It looks like she might have crocheted around that one edge.
Don't crochet around your orcs.
Don't crochet around the orcs, Karl says. Let's see, I'm trying to hold this in. Okay, the bottom one is Defcoptas. I know you have that one. We've even sprayed them. And at the top you have noobs or knobs. Hey, have not come out yet.
Like the opposite of noobs.
Oh, okay. So maybe maybe different. But you have Defcoptas. Sorry, I'm having a hard time holding this thing steady. Yeah.
They are knobs, not noobs.
Oh, not noob. No, but the Defcoptas and the knobs, I thought you said they hadn't come out yet. But you have them.
I have them.
So
I
what's
don't think I would say that I haven't come out yet.
But it might be, is it a different version? Or is it the exact same?
That is entirely possible, but I can't see it from here, so I can't really say.
No, I'll show it to you a little bit better later. Let's see, I'm trying to balance this thing. Okay, and then there's this robot guy called Tin Boy. Just a little hard to see because of the glare, but this is the other way with the pictures. I'm going the wrong way? I am. Okay, this way. That's the Wazdakaguchmek. Yeah, I went the wrong way. There we go. That's why I was going to say you think you've had these before. Okay, I'm going to hold this a little bit closer for Karl because he's drooling. Okay, there you go, Karl. You can see better, and if I can get this to focus, sorry. Yeah, there was the blanket again. Just a second, if you can see the crochet edges on there, I'm not sure.
Move it closer to me and not immediately switch to the blanket.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I did it on accident, but since I have it up. Yeah, I would say that looks almost like it might be crocheted around the edge there. It's a little hard to see, but you can combine that. Torben sends a picture too that says when Daddy is all alone, so can't wait to see what that one looks like. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now I just see if I'm zoomed out. Yeah, I am. There we go. It's hard to hold this thing steady. Okay. Wazdakaguchmek.
Yeah, no, this is new. I don't even think I've seen the data card.
No, he says they're not out yet. Reddy says, laugh out loud. Hi, Carla. Yeah, she's getting a little better, though. She was absolutely flipping insane earlier this week. I think we cursed it, though. Okay, and then there's the battalion orcs. Armageddon battalion orcs.
Yeah. Okay, this is highly motorized.
Ah, yeah, no, these death copters you don't have. Well, it doesn't even say death copters on there, but they're copters.
There are death copters, but they might just be painted in a different way.
And now, reading time. I have to do all the voices or I will get yelled at. Be right back, says Torben. That's okay. We're drilling over Warhammer. Nothing to miss out here. The guy who doesn't care about needle binding. Then you got Armageddon. What are these guys?
Well, it looks
in the in the grim darkness of the far future, there's only war. Do you agree?
Well, that is kind of the subtext for Warhammer. This looks to be Blood Angels and Orcs.
Yeah. Then you have Hippogriff AFV. Okay, he's been talking to J.K. Rowling.
Well, no, the Hippogriff is a fantasy, but a mythical creature. So it's something that is completely rational to name an armored vehicle after.
So if a hippogriff and a military man had a baby, this is what it would look like. The look Karl gives me.
No, it is if Greg gets to name tanks, this is what you end up with.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Astra Militarium Hippogriff AFV. And look, that you can even have a guy jumping out of it.
Yeah, no, if you are in one of their tanks, you're jumping out of it is probably the smartest thing you can do.
Yeah. And the Centaur RSV.
This is personnel career, clearly.
No hippogriff spotted on this one, but look, the little door comes down.
This isn't quite as insane as most of Warhammer's vehicles usually are.
Yeah.
This is a half track, so wheels in the front, tracks in the back.
Albert says it's a callback to a 90s box for the Armageddon campaign. Yeah. Okay, and then you have Astra Militarum Commissar Graves.
Yeah, that's named Commissar. I am not familiar with the guy, but...
That could do some... You could plow snow at the same time as fight a battle.
He has really good morale, but he is also super squishy. So...
Really? With the front like that? It even looks like there's a beak on it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, because I haven't seen the stats for it. But I wouldn't be surprised if one unit of Beast Snuggas could just kill him and take his tank.
This one looks like a cyborg.
A lot of people in Warhammer 40,000 kind of go for that look.
Resistance is futile. We are the Borg. Oh, yep, that was the last picture. And then I think we got a picture from Torbjorn here somewhere. Oh, there's his Warhammer setup. This is the one that he was saying. I missed the text on it, but I'll read it up afterwards. This is what Daddy does when the kids go to sleep, I think. It was something like that. But I do like the LED light setup like that. It makes it so much easier to see what you're painting. I mean, just if you're painting figures or you're painting a painting or doing embroidery, it was a really smart setup. Needle binding, I don't know. You'd see your stitches really well, but then as soon as you had to like pull the yarn through, you'd probably whack that thing. Take it out with your hand. Quite cool. Okay, then I will flip. There we go. And Carla's being noisy again. And Zilly's taking all this. Okay, so interesting lighting setup. Yeah, it was quite cool. I thought that was really cool. That setup was brilliant when he sent that the first time, going, oh, that's actually probably something you could easily DIY at home and make for needle binding. Banana split. We got to try it. It could be good. Could be crap. I've got my coffee cup.
I'm famously omnivore, so unless it...
You might have to get a big spoon because there's no way in hell you're going to do that with this little spoon.
It just takes longer.
Are you really going to you spend more time to scoop it up with that tiny spoon than you are to just get up and go and get a big spoon?
It's not like you are getting up to get a big spoon, herr woman.
No, somebody has to do YouTube while you take a shit. Okay. Then, there we go. Let's see. It looks a little like a Neapolitan, but banana.
Yeah. The different colors also act differently on the lid.
Yeah, they do. Apparently the yellow doesn't care to stick to it. Makes you wonder what's in the banana. There you go.
Plastic repellent.
This is looking highly artificial.
Artificial as opposed to the natural ice cream you get by milking the ice cows.
So do you think, yeah, right, the ice cows. So would you recommend mixing this all into one, like scooping this way or scooping one? Which would be the best way to do that? I don't want to do it wrong. Rudy said the light rig looked really cheap as well. Yeah, no, it was fairly inexpensive for him to make it. He said it was really quite smart. Albert said he would love that setup. Nolvia says, I know it's ice cream, but the container looks like a tub of margarine, laugh out loud. Yeah, except for Norwegian tub of margarine is about this big. We don't have these big American-sized ones. They're huge over there. Oh, Amaro made it, by the way. Anne says you have to go 3 colors. So got to go across to scoop.
Now, everybody who's not insane would do it that way.
I would do 1, 1, 1, and
Yes, of course you would.
it's
because
my OCD.
you're a sectional eater.
I'm a sectional
It
eater.
is so funny to watch her eat at the restaurant. First, she eats all the vegetables. Then she slurps up the sauce, and then she eats the meat.
No, you got to have some of the meat to scoop the sauce. You can't take all this. My God, how many cats can we get on the table at the same time? Get down.
67.
Get down. All right. So across. Ooh, this got soft really quickly. Ta-da. All right, I went across. I did. Oh, you need to get the chocolate sauce. I think it's in the cupboard by the stove, or what happened to you? You got up and disappeared.
I just put them on my headphones.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is soft. It might have been because we had it in the freezer at work and then put it back in as soon as we get home. I can't believe I'm going across on this thing and not like one color at a time. This is going to kill me. Let's see. That's the chocolate sauce. Half price chocolate sauce because due date is coming. Seriously, how can chocolate go bad? Except for, I don't know, if it was a bar or something. And all right. It smells like, oh, there she is licking the lid. Get down. Will you knock her off the table, please?
Hey.
Thanks. You need more of this stuff here, I think. We might want to put this back in the fridge real soon. It's like borderline. Maybe it's because it's fleur d'is. What's the difference between ice cream and fleur d'is? Fleur d'is is cream and ice. And ice cream and fleur d'is. What is the difference?
It's no difference. There has to be
sauce in Norway.
in Norway, in a pretty famous court case between Norwegian diplomas and Swedish GB ice cream. The diplomas won because you have to have actual fløte cream in your ice cream to call it fløteis.
Yeah.
So no, it was the other way around. GB won because they are not using actual cream from milk. They are using some kind of plant product instead.
Oh.
So after they won the court case, diplomas had their advertisement campaign where you have a boardroom full of Swedish people looking at a cow and going, okay, the Norwegians get something called cream from this thing, but we don't know how they do it. And then one of them goes behind the cow and start pumping the tail. And they all look in confusion. And then a text comes up rolling over the screen that says, we have to point out that legally speaking, the plant stuff the Swedish put in their ice cream is legally speaking fløte or cream.
We have Swedes online. What do you think, Rudy? Get down. Oh my God. All the cats want the ice cream. And it's like, I can just smell artificial banana like you would not believe.
Tastes like a banana milkshake used to taste in the 80s.
Really? You got to put some of this on there. Whoop. That comes out quite fast. But this is the... It's got a... Well, I tried to take the sticker off so you could see the picture, but it didn't work. Idun makes ketchup and mustard and chocolate sauce. It's a good mix. And then the caramel sauce that it has as well does not look like an American caramel sauce. It looks like it's like caramelized sugar. It's like liquid, like see-through. Okay, so do we live or die? What do you do? How you do? Oh, you didn't put any on yours. You did it wrong.
I tasted it before I put the chocolate sauce on it.
It is the foam banana candy. Oh, wow. This is not good. it's okay, but it's like, you remember, okay, so the Americans will know this one. There's these little elephant peanuts. They look like, not penis, peanuts. The pink ones, the foam ones, it tastes kind of like those. We're going to do more coffee. Ice cream mustache. Nope, no ice cream mustache so far. So far, so good. Did you have one before?
I don't think so.
Take a bite. Let's see. No, it's a clean bite. No mustache for him. Okay. Radici says, why would you buy a tub of several kilos of margarine? It's the American way. It lasts forever, though.
I buy several kilos of anything that I buy in a
Yeah.
grocery store.
We do. You know, like the round pepper cocker boxes, or tubs that you get in Norway and Sweden. There's like the bigger one, and then there's like one that's about this big, and they're about that round. That's what the butter used to come in a tub like that. So this could be about the same size. But yeah, no, but I think the butter in Norway is a bit more, I want to say, not concentrate, but you know, not as like, I don't know. Tubs of margarine, they seem to be kind of more butter flavor than actual butter.
Yeah, but margarine is butter in the same way that Swedish ice cream is flöte.
Robert says, it got soft really quickly. I think Torben missed that one. We had a few. That's what she says today. It tickles. It's both tickling because it's sweet and because I'm laughing now. Now that'll teach him to do all the voices in the story. Radisby says, we had a tube of chocolate sauce at work that nobody ate, so I stole it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, and we get it when it goes half price. That's what that sticker was I tried to take off. Caramel nectar from the gods, says Annette. Yeah, it's you know, because when you stir sugar long enough, it begins to caramelize anyway. That's what you guys put on your, that's what you guys call caramel sauce. But in United States, it's a bit more like this chocolate sauce, but it's caramel. It's kind of a thicker. Yeah. Anyway, better. I do miss it. Audra says, I made Balinese cocoa with Swedish honey without milk because I ran out of coconut milk. This is my dessert, best I could come up with. And then she's got this emoji that says, I'm not sure she's convinced it was the best she could get. Oh, you could be eating, this tastes like I don't know. It's, maybe I should have eaten it sexually. Like, eat the vanilla and nothing else. Radisby says, I mean, the way the companies would usually get around this is by just having very few percentages of an ingredient, was just to be able to say it was on the tin, like wasabi paste. But it's just 3% wasabi, if I remember correctly. Okay. In the States, caramel is more ooey gooey. Thank you. Annette knows how to say it, yeah. But it looks thicker like this, but in the American ones you can see right through it. So the chocolate one, or the caramel containers, because this one does make a caramel one too, you're looking at this nice caramel color of the bottle thinking, oh, this will be good, and then you go to dump it, you know, thinking you're gonna have to squeeze it to really get it to come out, and then so many innuendos here, but it just, as soon as you tip it just goes because it's so runny, the caramel sauce in Norway. And it's clear. It's not clear, but you can see kind of through it. There's no creaminess to it whatsoever. Radisby says it depends on the food. Like hamburgers, with this logic, should have to be renamed beef burgers, but hamburger is the name of the food and not the table of the contents. Oh, that's a good point. Sometimes you see fish burgers though. Okay. Do you know? I did something else today. What these are? Let's see if I can pull one out. What these are from? Probably shouldn't do this over my ice cream. These are nets from onions. Onions in the grocery store, they'll come in these, and you just cut the tube. My mom taught me this trick, and it was done with crochet, but you could probably needle bind it too, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, it's like this big sleeve. But if you ever try to make t-shirt yarn, you can cut this pretty much the same way. You do like there, but not all the way through, and then you cut it so it turns out to be a big loop. And you cut it in strips like this long, but you can see where there's like a taller end there where I'm turning a corner, changing direction, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, then you take some yarn. I actually had to thin this. This is too thick. Something like cotton, but I would go half this thickness. And you use the two together and you make a circle. It turns out this is the right side. This is crochet though, because I couldn't be asked to try needle binding it, but it might be easier. It can be a real bitch to get the hook through. I'm thinking in that case it might actually be better with needle binding. But on this is the right side, but on the back side, everything kind of gets stuck on the back there. And you can see, you just feed a new piece in when it runs out. You don't have to tie knots or anything. Scrubbies! My mom taught me how to make these. It's for scrubbing the dishes. So you need like one thread at least going through there, maybe even the thickness of an DMC floss or something when you're binding with it. And you can just tie a knot. It doesn't have to be beautiful because you're going to scrub dishes with it. So who the hell cares as long as it doesn't fall apart. But you take one of those, if it was half this thickness, and one of these. Let's see if maybe I can split it. So something like that and that at the same time. And you just make your circle.
I'm off to get myself a cigarette and pick up my bear.
Okay, do you want to put that ice cream back in the freezer?
That was what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually very good.
You really liked it?
It's like kind of a childish taste.
It tastes like kids' candy, yeah.
So I can't eat a lot of it.
No, but I guess it's perfect for Easter.
Yeah, and I think maybe with the right kind of alcohol, this could be interesting.
Vodka.
Rum.
Oh, you could try it with rum later. I'm not going to do rum. You actually do have rum here. Wait a minute, it's dripping. There. Yeah, no, I'm thinking that flavor doesn't need to last. But yeah, anyway, so that was something you could make. If you have some of these, and you can make dish scrubbies, and when they're too gross, you just throw them away. But it's a good way to use up old stuff. Got cat hair in my coffee. Sacrilege. Does it taste like banana peeps? Yes, it tastes exactly like banana peeps and a little bit of chocolate on it. It's not quite disgusting, but I think I'm probably about 40 years too old for it. But it's you know, it'll go down. It's okay, but I don't think I need to repeat this purchase. Where do you speak? Annette says, I like repurposing stuff. Yeah, no, it was one of the better tricks I thought of. So I kept saving these, but suddenly I had so many. So I started using them this week instead of working on the mitten because I'm a horrible person. And I'm easily distracted. I had a white one here somewhere too from the garlic. You can also, I think it probably got knocked on the floor when I cleaned the table a little bit. Can't find it. Anyway, but some mixed steady colors. But it doesn't have to be beautiful, doesn't have to be pretty, but you do need a stronger thread to stabilize it. I did notice with the crochet hook, as you go into the hole and you hook it and take it out again, sometimes it will get hung up on this. Instead of coming like out like a string would, it gets a little stuck on this mesh. So with a little bit of swearing and some force, it'll go, but it doesn't have to be beautiful because you're just doing dishes. I didn't even get the center of the hole closed. But it doesn't matter. But the cotton gives it a bit of strength, and the plastic actually does really good at scrubbing. And you can use it on Teflon. So that was a fun idea. I need to try to null bind one of these. But I would not even bother trying to splice the yarn. I would just knot it and keep going. And then just let the strings hang. Okay, but since he's run away and my ice cream is melting, let's see. Oh, Max made it. My current project I'm making is a pair of null-bound mittens for Mother's Day. I'm using Russian 2+2+2 in the color blue since it's my mother's favorite color and stitch type. Oh, she'll love that. And that'll make a nice dense fabric. It's a bit like Finnish 2+2, but the Russian way, so it has that Dalby look to it. Okay, so then we have the Zora stitch. Oh, I was going to try it. I didn't find a plastic Easter egg. So I was going to try to yarn bomb one of these in this style to make an Easter egg. If you remember back in the days when Pantyhose or nylons used to come in a little plastic egg. You could save the egg and you could yarn bomb them and make Easter eggs out of it. That's another thing my mom, I think, used to do when we were kids. She'd knit around them or crochet around them. So I would yarn bomb mine. I actually do have one in the corner over there. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Last year's Easter egg. There you go. This is last year's Easter egg. This is with this yarn I spun out of my leftovers. It's all my little leftover bits and bobs. I tend to like to repurpose things, which is why I have so much yarn. I should just use what I have. But all these little pieces that are left over, you can guard them together and spin new yarn. Which I have one of those here. There's some new yarn that's made out of it. And then I apply the two together, and however they overlap, I have no idea what it'll be, but that's what this is made from. I like repurposing things. I don't know why I buy new, but I do. So my house is like a hoarder house. Okay. But also it's because we're a tiny house living in a big house. We keep everything in pretty much one room. So Zora stitch. This is that beautiful Latvian yarn that I have. Do you want to eat the rest of my ice cream, Karl?
It's very incompatible with that. So.
Yeah, you got yourself an Ager beer this time, but it's a repeat. You've had it before. We sell them in the shop. You got Rallar, the amber ale. But yeah, so this is this Latvian yarn. I did actually post the one I made the first one I ever made, the one I found at the thrift store, which orange and yellows and greens. This is the same wool, but it's got such a long shift. So now but I haven't got to the brown yet. But let's take this out of the way. There's my mittens. So to make these match, because if I made one at a time or half and half, it wouldn't quite get the same color shift. The light's not doing much justice to these. Anyway, to get them to match, I would take off like 20 butterfly wraps, and the first 10 go to this, and then the next 10 go to that. And then I do it. So it's not a super long length of yarn, but if I take the length and split it in half, then the first half goes to this, the second half goes to that, and I have to make sure the continuation goes in the right color order. So then when I take it off the next time, the same thing. Half goes to this, half goes to that. And it seems to be working. It seems to be that the color shift is playing nicely together. The light is coming from the wrong direction here, so it doesn't show up too well, but it's kind of like a darker color. After this is green, then we'll hit brown. So I don't even know if we're going to make it to brown before we get to the thumbs. But right now, this is the Zora stitch. The mittens go to about, this is one side. I tend to take advantage of this little jog, and I make it so that it goes on the outside, so I always know which way to wear these. It is a nice dense fabric, by the way, if you haven't seen. I will probably try to steam block them a bit to get a little bit of the bumpiness out of it, but I'm quite happy with it. So now I think it's either this one or that one, but I'm up to the top here. Maybe I do one more row, and then I'll start to decrease, or you don't decrease at all. You can just go all the way up to the top and then just finish it off, and you'd have like a square top mitten. But if you want it to be rounded, this side doesn't need decreasing. This side does, so it'll kind of go like that. But then you will have a very obvious left and right hand mitten, but I like them a little form fit. So you can choose if you want to do them so it's a round, then you might want to wait a little bit longer before tapering. And then you just decrease and two together, or there, and there. Kind of like 4 points if you called it. You would decrease here, or basically 2 decreases in a row, and then here. But I'm going to have these taper like this way, otherwise they get too tight up here. And then we'll see if we can't figure out how to pick up a thumb on the other one, but I have to try to keep my yarn colors working together. Do you want to show your amber ale, by the way, while I got you here? While you're opening it? Your can. So much for Carla being nicer. No, this is the one that that we've had this one before. This one we saw in the store, though. It's the Ager Brewery's Roller Amber Ale. Did I mute myself? Maybe I need a oh, I know why. It's sorry, my phone had been flashing a symbol, but the holder kind of went right over the mouth button. Not the mouth button, but the sound button.
Carla, come.
Okay. Yep, Carla's at it again, says Max. No, we can hear you. Yeah, I was, for some reason, the volume on my button was just doing this over and over and over on my screen. It's because the gimbal holds the phone like this, and then you've got the two buttons for the sound, and apparently it was right over the sound, and that's why it kept flashing. Is that cat feeling randy again? Yep.
I think she might have a reason to be a little bit annoyed right now, and that's that.
Maggie says, hello, Carla. You are truly loved. This is the world's most patient YouTube audience ever. Because she drives me nuts. Let's see, take another bite of this ice cream. Holy shit, that's sweet. How's your beer with the ice cream, by the way, Carl?
I don't think it is actually as bitter as it tastes right now.
Yeah.
After the ice cream, it tastes really bitter. And it smells a lot more yeast than I remember.
It's not a good combo.
No.
The two smells together, it's not
I
good.
wish I had bear nuts or something to be kind of...
Here, let her lick the liquidy ice cream. I'm done with that. Ugh.
liquidy ice cream makes for liquidy poop.
I'm not the one that's cleaning the poop. I'm cleaning the urine. I'm on liquid duty. But if the liquidy poop, then it's, I don't know, we'll have to fight for it. This was the color of his amber, by the way. With a slight greenish tinge to the jar, to the glass. I forgot which this glass, it's Scan Glass, the one that makes this one, but I forgot what the name of the find. It was a Frankish, this one.
I don't remember.
And then you can, if you can see it, it's got like a, an effect going this way as well. It's like when you make glass straws or threads, and then you kind of, so they all look like straws anyway, then you kind of line them up next to each other, and then you roll the glass over it. It makes that effect. Okay.
Because I think he
Making
is...
a beer float, says Novia.
Ooh.
It did shut her up, though. She's over there licking that bowl like nobody's business.
But I think he has taken her bed just to piss her off.
Yeah, Zilly has started taking Carla's bed.
Yeah, and he normally doesn't like to be on the floor. He likes high ground.
Let's see if we can
So
show
I
it.
think he is doing this just to be a dick.
Oh, I think so, and she's got it coming. Let's see if we can see it there. There he is. Yeah, I think that's why she's bitching, too, by the way. Do you know why there's a carpet rolled up on the floor? Because the little bugger pissed all over it, and it's going in the garbage now. That thing is, so it's an old carpet anyway, but still. It's not easy having cats. Okay. Torben says, I drank one bottle and fell down some stairs and then dropped 3 meters onto the concrete. Broke my back in 2 pieces and woke up in the ambulance. Best beer ever. What the hell? What beer was that? Oh, sorry. I'm turning it this way. I thought I was looking at work. Karl wants to know, what beer was that? Torben says, Brotcher is the best. Last time I drank it, I ended up in the ICU. Brotcher. Yeah, I think we have a stitch called Brotby. Here, you got to take this because I don't want to knock it over with my hand. No needle binding.
If that is how we make bear recommendations, then we should probably try to find out what Justin was drinking when he broke both ankles.
Okay, there's a story there. I'm going to needle bind first because I got to catch up. Let's see, this is the other one. I put the needle in there for the picture on YouTube. My day got away from me and nothing I wanted to do today worked. Yeah, no, this one's got to be much taller. So before I can decrease. So let's see. This one is like a Oslo stitch, but you have 3 loops on the front. 1, 2, 3. If you're not sure, it's the 3 on the end going this way. There's your leader yarn. Loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. Those 3 are going on your thumb. And then the next one is your 4th loop. That's the one you're gonna take in the opposite direction. But you don't want to mess those up, or this it will show on this. So I'm doing F2, which is a connection with a new one and an old one, just to make it a little bit more, because there's so many loops involved. I think a denser connection is better. So a new one, old one from the front. Then you pick up that 4th loop, go away from you, and then turn and go forward under all 3 of those that were supposed to be on my thumb, like that, and then pull through, including under the leader yard, and then pull. And a downwards motion towards you. I'm having a hard time keeping this on. There you go. And then you have the old loop. The last loop is your new 4th loop. So 1, 2, 3. Then do your connection. I'm using F2. Take the 4th loop away and turn and go forward. And under your leader yarn. Okay, Karl, do you have that story in mind? What was Jostein drinking that caused him to break 2 ankles, and how in the hell? Torben says, it was worth it, Albert. What was worth it? Jostein drank vodka, Vemund's vodka.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to tell the story, or do we need to watch it?
Vemund has the almost magical ability to make a drink that is almost pure alcohol and make it taste like lemonade. So Jostein kind of got burned on that one. And that day, Jostein jumps down a flight of stairs and breaks both of his ankles. And later in the same evening, he manages to seduce a lesbian. I have no fucking idea how that happened, because Jostein has the weirdest pickup style of any person I've ever met.
Is he effeminate? Does he look kind of feminine, or?
No,
No? Okay.
Physically, he kind of looks like Sten Finson.
Okay, so not at all.
Not at all. Yeah. He's like a much more goofy version of Stan. That is the best way to describe him. So we were drinking at Studentheimen. That's one of the big student housing projects in Sogndal. And Jostein does all this. And yet, the next day, I am the guy that everybody laughs about.
Let's see. Okay. Why are you the guy that everybody laughs at the next day?
Because I was spectacularly drunk. I was running around in small circles naked. And I got this close to being expelled from the student pub for excessive nudity. Magnar managed to save me by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
He kind of made the point that well, I wasn't completely nude. And as long as I was wearing my boxers, it was no worse than when people are wearing these bicycle shorts that you see everywhere, as Magnar put it. So they managed to not expel me, but holy shit, that was close.
Did you have any other close calls like that? Like when did you try to blow up the lab? Or what was that? You had some sort of an explosion in a chemistry class or whatever that was, maybe it wasn't necessarily explosive, but maybe gaseous or something. You were telling a story once upon a time.
I destroyed the light fixtures in the roof with a projectile.
Yeah, that would be the one. Could you tell that story, please? I got a lot of needle biting to catch up on.
I also once broke an entire holder of 1,000 kroner barrettes.
Barrettes?
So you have
like
a small,
hair barrettes?
No, you have a small glass bottle on a glass pipe. It is calibrated to have a very, very, very exact volume. These things are expensive as all fuck. Mm-hmm. And when you wash them, you put them all in a holder. And I believe the price on them back then was about 1,000 kroner per one of them.
Holy crap.
And the holder takes like 50.
Yeah.
and I try to pick up one. So I lift it out, and then I pull it towards me, but the tip is still hanging in the holder. So I tip over the holder and break all 50. So that's a 50,000 kroner mistake.
Holy crap, Carl. Go on, Carla.
No, but according to my teacher's calculations, that year of education already cost 800,000 kroner, so it didn't make much of a difference.
I need to deal with the cat. She's constantly trying to, and she looks like she wants to pee on the floor here, and I'm not going to let her. She keeps coming by and she does this. And you know they're scratching before they're going to do their business. Because they scratch before and they scratch after.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is, see, look. Put her in the basket now. She's got to go. She's got to go away.
Karl, it's time for horny jail.
It's time for horny jail. Yeah, no more marking territory in this house. I'm done with it. We just curled up the rug to throw it away. Torben says the worst part with my Brotcher story is that it's all true. It took me half a year to recover. Holy crap! And is that how you hurt your back? I wasn't aware of that. Maggie says excessive nudity versus odd pickup skills. You win for funny. Well, Carl's got the weirdest stories. Okay, now, did you say there was another story?
I have a little addendum to that story.
Oh, sorry, tell.
The next year we had a new girl who was the Krovert, it's called in Norwegian. It's the person responsible for the serving of alcohol at the meieriet ute Plassen.
Yeah.
And the first time she showed up in Sogndal was this party. So I'm talking to her sometime later. I can't remember that she was even there. And she looks at me and she says, Karl, I don't know exactly how seriously I can take you because I saw you naked before I heard you say a word.
I'm glad I didn't see you naked before we started dating.
What would you have? Would you lie down on your stomach and refuse?
I would probably try to feed you more. Jack Sprat could eat no fat and his wife could eat no lean. Okay, anyway, this one is going to be too short, so in order to speed things up, this one is ready to go. Almost. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I do want to do one more row there, I think, before I do the decrease. So we're going to have to get some more stories out of Karl. But I still have to split my yarn in order to get the shifts to work. So I'll have to, like, put one end on this one and keep them in order for this one so I can do them later. But the biggest reason you want to work in tandem is, one, for shifts like that. But two, sorry, I'm burping banana. It's so gross. No, but also so that you don't have to count. Your stitches will be the same. Your tension should be the same in case you're pulling tighter than on the next mitten or something. But but you can get your rows will increase the same and everything. Okay. So
whenever in Norway you have this assorted candy thing called Twist.
Yeah.
And every time I open a packet of that, she basically vacuums through it very quickly.
Yeah.
And then I'm left with the licorice and the banana cream.
The banana cream ones. Yeah, no, they're not my favorite. Yeah, that does taste like a banana cream twist. Twist is like, it's a bag of different kind of confectioner's chocolate, but they're all in a little twist package individually anyway. They're real popular for Halloween candy in Norway because Norway doesn't have very many individually small packaged candies for Halloween, but that one you can.
Yeah, no, it's popular for everything in Norway.
Yeah. Oops. Just have to.
It's also a pretty safe gift because everybody has something in it that they like, and I can give away the rest.
I love this yarn. I love the rustic feel of it. It is definitely not a soft yarn though. But one downside is it's got little, what do you call that? Sticks and grass and things in it. That gets into the sheep's wool. It doesn't seem to get out of it completely before rusk is the word in Norwegian, I think. But I'm trying to think of what the heck that is called.
Impurities?
Yeah, like little impurities. There is a word for it in the textile world too, but when you get little pieces of little flexes of grass or straw or something in the wool, and it kind of gets stuck in there and it gets spun in there as well. So you have to keep that in right order. If I had one there, maybe. It's not the best example. Anyway, but this does, as much as I love this yarn, this Latvian yarn, it does have that in it quite a bit. So one nice thing is when you're needle binding, you're causing a lot of friction on your yarn because every time you pull it through, you're rubbing the yarn against the previous loops. And that will cause the sticks to kind of pop out a little bit more, so you can just pick them out. But you do have to stop and kind of pick them out all the time. Let's see. There we go. See if I can find one there. There's one. See the stick? I forget what that's called anyway, but you gotta sit there and pick them out, because if you don't, I mean, it's not the softest wool, it will itch, but it does have a very historic feel to it, which is what I like. But I'm guessing, in my opinion, or in my head, they when they were spinning wool back in the day or carding it and everything, they didn't get it very soft and cleared out, I guess. So I would expect it to feel like this, but actually no, they were extremely good crafters. I'm sure they could. They also knew how to separate the fibers, so you have the long fibers and the short fibers.
It's probably also a matter of what exactly is this wool for.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you're making a dress for the queen, you probably spend a little bit more time and energy on it than if you make bedding for your trowel.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, if you're going to just weave with it or something, or making a sail, then it doesn't have to be soft. But if you're going to make a dress and weave a dress out of it, then yeah, you definitely would. But they did, actually. There's evidence that they did separate the softer, shorter fibers from the long, coarse fibers.
Yeah, I would think they would. Because their economy is kind of backwards from ours.
Yeah.
For us, almost every raw material is dirt cheap because it takes very little effort to make it.
Yeah.
Everything is industrialized.
Yeah.
But time is super expensive, so all the work that goes into improving the raw materials is what's expensive to us. To them, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Getting anything that you can't make for yourself is super expensive. But if you can make it for yourself, or if you can get your hands on it, then all the work afterwards, well, it's like, okay, but you have a hands, and there is something called the winter. So you have the time.
Yeah. I saw there was this video of somebody, probably in the black and white TV days. Anyway, they were filming her she was making shoe covers. I've never heard of these before. But okay, so you have your shoe, and they would make just like the toe, like a null-bound toe, but it was meant to go over your shoe. But instead of doing a heel or making a finished sock, they just did a strap that went around like this. I know it's been posted to the null binding groups a few times, but it's literally just, you wear it over your shoe, and it just kind of has to tie up on the back, but it's so that you don't slide on the ice. And they would make that when you would not need a soft wool either. You could, and she was actually taking some regular wool and mixing it in with goat hair, but goat hair isn't very long, so she was kind of making a mix of regular wool with some pieces of goat hair in it. Because you needed the wool fibers to get the goat hair to hang into it, but goat hair is not exactly very soft either. I lost my end here somehow. I mean, I have an end, but it has a knot on it. The reason the end has a knot on it, so I know this is the wrong end of my skein, because I was too lazy to ball this up first. But it's so much easier to just roll it back up again, but I lost my end. Anyway, but that was something that they would have. Would be a great use of coarse wool, because obviously you want to have a little bit of grip. And this did actually happen this winter. We got so much heavy snow, and then it melted so quickly, and then it froze really fast within the same day, and then we had this big sheet of ice going down the driveway for about 3-4 weeks.
It wasn't quite that long, but it was really annoying.
It's really annoying, yeah, and hard to walk on it. And my shoes are, I mean, I don't even know if you could, unless you were wearing cleats or something, but I actually did. One day we were in a hurry. I didn't have time to put the crampons or whatever on the bottom of my feet.
Yeah.
So that I could go on the bottom of my shoes. So I literally took off my shoes and walked down the rest of the way in my socks because I had more grip with my socks than I did.
No, but when you went ass over heel outside here, I was actually worried for you.
Yeah, that I did flip. Yeah, you can tell that story. I landed quite luckily, actually.
Lucky, yes, but you landed luckily head first, and that is the worrying bit.
No, what I meant is we had the pallets of wood out there. So we had one big pallet of wood. I mean, they're tall. And you have like the deck here, pallet of wood here, and a pallet of wood here. And there's like this little narrow gap between the edge of the deck, like this edge here, and then the pallets. And however, I slid out so my feet went underneath me, and I went, kind of went forward a bit, but fell backwards. But my head went right between.
Yeah.
I did hit my head, but I hit my head on the ground and not on the...
The way she actually landed, she must have been at pretty good speed when this happened, because I'm closing the door and I'm just turning around to see her basically go down. And her head is at this elevation and her legs are up here.
Oh yeah, no, it was classic. Whoop.
She's basically headbutting the earth with the back of her head.
Yeah, I was a little out of it that day. In the beginning, anyway. It was just like, I felt it shortly afterwards. Actually, I still have a little bruise there. But that was a while ago now. But I still...
That's the thing, because you have the American work ethic.
Yeah.
So it is, even when I go to you and I say, okay, if you are feeling bad, we can go to the doctor. It's not like she's going to listen to me. The only time we have gotten her to leave work to go to the doctor is when we could actually literally see her skull.
That was interesting. That was when I got hit in the head with Thor's hammer.
Yep.
Okay, so... Oh, we got to finish this story, though. But anyway, no, that one, it turned out to be okay. It was just that I didn't hit I was afraid I would have hit my head on the edge of the deck. Then that would have been a whole other story.
Yeah.
But because it was slippery and because it was kind of pointed downhill, I slid forward, but so you do the normal where your legs go out from underneath you, but you're sliding forward at the same time. So it actually propelled me enough forward that by the time my head hit back, that it fell in the gap. And, yeah, I did bump something there, but it wasn't the deck and it wasn't the edge of a pallet. So I was quite lucky. Garcia says to leave you. See you next time. Maggie says, I'm cringing. That could have been bad. Yikes. Yeah, it could have been pretty bad. I was a little bit out of it at first, but I don't know if it was because I was tired, because we haven't been up very long yet, but I was using these ergo shoes, which are not meant for snow. It's meant for regular concrete. Where in the hell is the end? I lost the end of my yarn.
No, but
it'll come out though. I just have to.
I am kind of famously calm and collected. So when you get holy fuck, are you okay? Out of me, then I would say that alone is enough for a 3-day sick leave.
I don't think I got a holy fuck, are you okay? I think I got you all right? Because I remember telling you, I said, I think I hit my head, but I don't know. And then about an hour later, I was like, yeah, no, I definitely hit my head. I can feel it.
No, I was actually very concerned because I saw you land with basically, normally...
I didn't think you saw me fall.
Normally when you fall over like this.
Yeah.
So you land with your whole body on the ground.
Heavy boobs, you go that way.
She felt like this.
Oh.
So you're basically headbutting the earth with your whole weight of your body behind your head.
Well, I hit here, though, so it's in the back, yeah.
So yeah, no, I was genuinely concerned about you.
Aw, he loves me. I can't find the end of my yarn anymore. I don't know where the hell it went. I can only find the wrong end. Maggie says, adjusting your Norwegian description. Those both sound like the same level of panic. Yeah. Nolvia says, sweaty socks don't stick to the ice. Well, sweaty socks could do it if the sweat hasn't frozen yet. Well, but it's the grip of the grip of the textile.
If you have minus degrees, if it's really, really cold, then sweaty socks might give you more grip because you will have a small amount of freezing to the ground every time you put your foot down.
Yeah.
But some shoes are ridiculously slippery.
Yeah, these ones are, though. I could take one off. I still have them on my feet. They're they're ergo shoes. So you can see they got the big fat thickness padding on it. But wow, do my feet stink. Anyway, maybe I'll have some of that banana ice cream. But anyway, no, they're super slippery. There's no. But yeah, that's how I slipped. It's not meant for the ice. I should usually put some crampons on instead. But oh nope, I thought I found the end, and sure enough, it's not the right end. Maybe I have it turned around.
I'm usually not that bothered by ice because I don't have a sensible explanation for it, but I walk very slowly and carefully, and I weigh next to nothing.
How sweaty are your feet? Well, if I lived where Nolvia was, my feet would be pretty damn sweaty. She's in California. PJ says, I saw someone go down and headbutt the road. Her head bounced. She was knocked out and cracked her skull. That's how my grandma died as well. Ooh, Jesus. But to actually see the head bounce, holy crap.
Yeah.
That would be scary as hell. No, when I got hit in the head with Thor's hammer, this is always a good story. We had a little game. You weren't there for that, or were you? That was before you and I were together.
It was before we were together, but I was in the village at the time, but I wasn't involved in the.
Siri was still here. She's the one who took me to the emergency room. Yeah. No, so we had an unexpected group of really young Dutch kids in. I don't know, but they were all like toddlers, like between 2 and 4. And there was a whole ton of them anyway. And it wasn't just the kids, of course, their parents were here as well, but there was some sort of a gathering where we had a whole bunch from the Netherlands. And we wanted to give something to the kids to do because the parents wanted to try axe throwing. And right next to the axe throwing in a different direction, obviously, we don't have this game anymore. But we had a wooden castle that was built, kind of like a box frame. And on top of this castle, we'd have a block. And one big block would be the king, and you'd have these regular sized blocks. And that was supposed to represent his army. And you would stand back with a little wooden mallet that's kind of in the shape of Thor's hammer. And you'd stand back behind a line, and you'd try to knock down the king, and or the men first or whatever. And actually, the easiest way to do it would be hit the frame, and they all fall.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I got the kids into this, and they were really liking it because they didn't speak English. These kids are, and they so you're trying to communicate as best you can with them. They're too young. But then they were off in a distance to go and pick up. I was putting up the blocks back up again, and I could see them. They were a good 5-6 meters away. And then so when I go to bend down to go and put the pieces back up, and either one kid threw the hammer back, or somebody on the other side of the fence on the gas station side thought it would be a fun idea to throw a rock over the fence. I highly doubt it.
It has to be the hammer. I've never seen the rock.
No, I've never seen anybody throw shit over the fence before either, and it's a tall fence, so I can't imagine that they would do that. I mean, it's tall as the wall fence here. So I think one kid, but he must, they're 2 to 4 years old, so the throw is one of those where they probably like throw this way and it goes sideways instead. But that was a really good throw, but it hit me.
A 4-year-old will throw with both hands and enormous amount of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So,
actually, that was back here on this side, that one. So, and then I had Siri working with us. She was a blacksmith at the time anyway, and experimental archaeologist, I think was her title at the time. Head of experimental archaeology. Anyway, and she was nearby anyway, and I kind of, as soon as I got hit on the head like this, so that, okay, I'm kind of assessing the situation, what happens. You were on axe throwing, actually. I think this is when I went up to you, though. It was either you or Runa. I think it was you, though.
It wasn't me.
Anyway, but I went up.
This
you would have remembered, though, because I went over to the person and I said, hey, Karl or Runa, I gotta go. And I lifted my hand up like that and I put it right back down on my head. And the look I got was, you gotta, because my hand was full of blood. Yeah. But it's just a little nick, but the head bleeds a lot.
A little bit earlier, the same year, you got stung by a wasp on your lip.
Yeah, I did. That was funny too.
And I remember that happened. Then I was nearby and I saw you right afterwards, and you have this lip. And when
duck face lip.
Towards the end of the day, I heard that Siri took Karin to the emergency room. She got hit in the head with a hammer, and I go, how fucking accident prone is this woman?
Not really, actually. So that was kind of funny. No, not very accident prone at all. But that was the one I was drinking. I had Sprite in a Viking cup. It was in July. I think we were having a Christmas market. No, we had the store up by then, but the summer market, I mean. Yeah. I thought we were having a summer market, but it might have been 2019 because we just had the building up.
It would have to
the
be
new
because
shop.
it was before we
but
got together, but I knew who you were.
yeah. This
We
was
had some contacts in 2017 and 18.
Yeah, no, but it was usually
you
just
didn't really get a personality until 2019.
Neither did you.
Now the thing is, when it comes to Freeman, that is our volunteers,
Yeah.
it's in a way a good thing for them if I don't know their name. Because I only learn the names of the really
He's an
good ones
asshole.
and the really bad ones. So otherwise, it's like, yeah, okay, Freeman.
What do you mean bad ones? They're all good.
Yeah.
This is why I have the Freeman and he does not.
Yeah, no, that's why she is Freeman responsible. If I was Freeman responsible, I would have to change the title to Head of Freeman Prosecution or something.
Oh, the Freemen are awesome. They bring life to the village. I like them. And they're very crafty. I learn things from them. Anyhow, so I have to continue to tell my bloody story. So then I have to go. I'm sitting here going like this, and then I, tell a few more people. I think I need to go to see the doctor now because it's bleeding quite a bit. Not that I was feeling dizzy or anything or concussed or anything. So Siri's like the best person to have with you, and that she is so fascinated by this stuff. I mean, this is the woman who basically gutted a moose in the shower and then tanned its hide, mixed up the brains and tanned a hide with it. It was, this woman is not fearful, and she literally butchered the whole moose too, by the way. That is a lot of meat. So this one, she's like, oh, I can take you to the doctor. So she drives me to the doctor, 25 minutes away anyway, and we're sitting in the waiting room. And then the guy's like, yeah, no, it's luckily not, can you feel this anyway, in there, it sounds like this. Anyway, do you feel this? And that, yeah, no, I can. Yeah, I can't really feel that. It's okay. And he says, all right. I think basically we just have to kind of stitch you up, but we don't need to use a stitch for it. It is deeper, but it doesn't look like you did any. Your skull is whole. It's just that it's just that the head bleeds a lot. There's a lot of vessels or whatever the hell up there. Anyway, so instead of they had this new trick, the super glue trick basically. So they take my hair a little bit here, a little there, so it's kind of like crisscrossing like this. Put some glue in the middle and then kind of crisscross it over like that and use my hair as sutures and just kind of glue it down. And then they say, leave that to go for a while. Don't wash your hair for the next couple of days, and the glue will just disappear on its own. And it did eventually, and it worked just fine. It was great, stopped the bleeding and everything. But then there's Siri going, can I see that? I can see your skull. She's just, it was so funny. They're like, it's your skull. That's so cool. I wanted to. Anyway, she was the best person because normally I should be freaked out by this, I would think. You can see my skull. I got, big, this wide that goes to my skull anyway, and they're going to glue my head together and use my hair as sutures, and she's just she was so fascinated by this thing. It was, we were laughing the whole flipping time, but technically I should probably be a little panic stricken.
No, but it's perfectly fine to take a sick day occasionally, woman.
But I wasn't dizzy, a concussive night, anything. I had to stay awake too. Then I had to go and sleep on Runa's couch so that I wouldn't fall asleep. I had to go to his house because there was nobody staying in the village at the time, and they didn't want me in the village by myself. This is when I was I think I was still a Freeman at the time, actually. It was right before the millennium. I mean, not millennium. It was right before the Corona year. So, but yeah, if you ever have to go to the emergency room, take somebody who's fascinated by you, because you are just, it's so funny. And you're having so much fun laughing and everything like that, that you don't have time to go, this might not be good.
We have had people who pushed it too far. So if you pass out on your activity station, for instance, then you should have taken a sick day. You shouldn't be here when this happens.
Well, I was already on sick leave, so how are you going to do that?
Yeah, no.
I wasn't sick leave with my job, which is why I was a Freeman, because I wasn't working here yet.
But I'm not specifically talking about you right now.
Okay.
But I had a day a couple of years ago when all of a sudden any motion I did with my right hand was painful.
Yeah.
It was kind of radiating pain through my shoulder.
Oh, yeah, that day.
So I thought, okay, this might be a really bad sign. And if I'm going to die from a heart attack, it shouldn't be because I decided that working in a tourist attraction was more important than going to the doctor. So I basically go to Marie and go, "Hi, fuck it. You take over. I have to go to the doctor now."
Yeah.
And then I got somebody, I think it was you,
I think I probably took you to the doctor a couple
Yeah.
times. I have
to
definitely.
drive me to the emergency room. And I go, "Yeah, no, you just have your muscles are just, you have a muscle cramp, basically."
Torben writes, well, I think he meant right Freeman, but I just see Fremen. Look at that bundle of yarn. One wrong pull, and the disaster is complete. I don't think that's funny at all. Don't you dare fuck with my yarn. Because the thing is, I will sit there and untangle the whole damn thing. Because welcome to my OCD. But it is, it's a very itchy yarn. So I can, it wasn't exactly the best thing to do. Free men, says Robert, yeah.
Both Fuzzy and the Siamese cat will happily fuck with her yarn.
Do not fuck with my yarn. By the way, I did this because I have to kind of skip ahead in my project here. But there's coloring. So I had to, okay, so left to right. So this bundle gets split in two. One goes to this mitten, one goes to this mitten, and they have to kind of go in the same order. Left to right. So from here to here, we'll go on this mitten, and then from here to here, we'll go on this mitten. And I have to do that all the way through. But it looks like we might get to the brown. So that's kind of how I'm doing it, because I have to skip ahead in order to show on this one here. Let's see. Albert says, I have a scar on my eyebrow from a sword. It was my fault. I walked past two mates warming up, and I walked too close behind and them getting my shield. Excuse me, I'm burping over here. It tastes like banana. It's not good. Don't do it. That's not a... You know what? Karl's got a sword injury. Don't you?
Multiple.
Multiple. Do you want to tell me your source injuries here? Well, I try to skip ahead. I got to do a little bit more on here, and then I can show.
Don't know if it is visible still, but
oh yeah, your fucked up finger.
the outside of my pinky finger on my right hand was split completely open from about here
I have pictures
to
of
about
that.
here. I don't think you do, because this was
No, I'm talking about the one where Greg whacked you. Okay, what's this one?
This is well before your time.
Oh, okay, that's not the same.
This is back in, I would say 2010, maybe 2009.
Yeah.
No, it's 2010. I have a serious brain fart. There is this little German girl, maybe 14, who wants to try sword fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain fart is that, okay, since she doesn't have gloves, I won't use my gloves, I'll just be very careful. The problem is that she wasn't careful. And she's quick. Kids very often have much better reaction speeds than we grown-ups do. And she gets in an attack that I have to parry very quickly. And I end up by lifting my sword too high, which is, by the way, the same thing that happened the other time I broke a finger. And her sword hits my finger here and stretches the skin into the hilt of my sword with so much force that the skin splits on the other side of the finger. That's one. Then Greg has broken my finger. And
We've told this a few times on YouTube, but it's been a while.
An Irish guy, I don't remember his name, he's from Northern Ireland, used to come here a lot.
The one that, no.
Back in 2010,
John?
he had a tiny daughter, maybe 4 years old.
Oh, Connor. Connor Sweeney? No.
No,
No.
a younger guy than him.
Not Outhill and Connor is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I know, but
another
a
Irish
younger guy than
Yeah,
Colin
I don't
is,
remember
but,
another Irish guy.
But it's tempting to just call all Irish guys Colin, so that you are,
Let's call him Colin.
or Connor, or whatever.
Let's call him Connor Colin.
He hit me on the top of this knuckle, so the bone broke, no, top of this knuckle, so the bone broke back here somewhere. And that gave me about 3 months of sick leave. Let's see, other sword-related injuries.
We call that a punch parry, Karl. Yeah, those hurt. By the way, there's some other good stories in here if you want to catch up on chat of different scars. Like Torben says, I had 2 scars in my face. one on the nose, one on the forehead, and I got them because Karl wanted to show me a cool move with his new sword, Drunk. So some of these stories are worth reading. Go through in the chat and take a look. But go ahead, Karl.
In my
I
defense,
need to hear some more of this.
that's from before I know what I was doing, and I was also very drunk.
I'm thinking I should not have you anywhere near me when you get drunk.
I shouldn't be near blades when I get drunk. So our idea of combining sharp weapon cutting and drinking beer on YouTube might not be the greatest idea.
I gotta say though, I've only seen you so drunk, or that drunk, maybe twice. The once before we were together, where you were trying to, where the gravel goes to grass. That's the height difference. Gravel, grass, and he's like. It looked like too big a step for him. That was one. And the other one is when we found out why we should not go to Ager Brewery after work. And so Ager Brewery, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Ager Brewery. It's a wonderful place. Look it up. It's in Flom, or Flom Brewery is another way it'll come up with. But Ager Brewery, Aegir, looks like a stave church. Wonderful, beautiful place. Great food, Viking, everything. Why is it not a good idea for you and I to go there after work, Karl?
It depends a little bit on what I do that work day. But the odds are pretty good of running into tourists that I have guided earlier in the day. And they are really fascinated when somebody in Viking clothes all of a sudden show up at the Viking pub.
There was a whole bunch of us. It was Jose's birthday.
Yeah, and then they start giving you alcohol.
Yeah, they're like, didn't you guide me? Didn't you? You were my guide. You were amazing. Can I buy you a beer? Because them, it's like one beer, but 2, 3, 4, 5 people that day wanted to buy you a beer.
It was the day of the Australians. We had so many Australians in the village. And obviously the Australians will land at the nearest pub when the sun goes down. So we ran into quite a lot of them.
A lot of them were there, and they were all buying you beer. And that's when Karl came through the door and puddle. And then he's sitting on the floor looking at this.
You told me to make a fire, so I'm sitting down in front of the fireplace trying to figure out how it works, and then I just kind of passed out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, he slept there. I gave him a pillow and a blanket, and that was that. That's probably far too much at those two, though. Nikki's here. She says those mittens are so cool. Yeah, these ones, they're a little bit tighter than I would make them, but the thing is, I've got big hands because I'm an eater.
But
so if it's tighter on my hand, it probably fits just right on someone else.
In my defense, Karin,
yeah,
you have not seen me dancing drunk or public nudity drunk.
No, not public nudity drunk, but dancing drunk. Yeah, I got you to dance that night. You were trying to walk over the gravel because you had to go to the gods, and you kept telling me. I mean, we've said this one a long time before. Tell me when we go to the gods, because when it's to go to the gods, because I have to give a blute speech or whatever. And I'm like, Karl, we just went there. Okay, but tell me when it's time to go. You did dance that night. Tord Ida got you to come out and dance with me.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't even interested in you in that.
No recollection.
No, that was funny. No, I don't think you have much recollection of anything that night. Robert says, I don't have any scars from Viking fighting. Most of the stories involve getting hit in the soft spherical body parts, quite often after getting shot with blunt arrows. Yeah, can you think of any soft spherical body parts that would hurt?
I can mention at least 2.
Okay, you might want to look into a cod plate. By the way, Max says, how do Vikings suture up their wounds? Yeah, because I gotta say, the hair thing was a cool trick. Like I said, they take your hair like that, and then they pulled it together that way. It was so smart. It's such a stupid thing. I'm gonna definitely super glue my hair next time.
I don't think we know for sure.
Yeah.
But they almost certainly did in some way.
They didn't have super glue, though.
But if you have nothing else, then needle and linen thread will do for you. You just have to remove the sutures when the wound has kind of started to grow.
Yeah. But that is actually quite good. I mean, with a bandage, wrap it, or, how we would know that, actually.
We wouldn't know, and they probably did a lot of unnecessary and dangerous bullshit. Because people historically did that up until the advent of modern medicine. What the fuck was that again?
Yeah.
I might remember this story wrong, but for the longest time, it was the practice, if somebody gets a bullet wound, to put tar in it before you bandage it. The reason I stopped doing it was that a French doctor during the Napoleonic War ran out of tar. And he basically goes, okay, fuck it, I don't have tar, I'll just make the best of it. So he just cleaned the wounds and bandaged them. And then all of a sudden his survival percentile goes through the roof because the tar wasn't making it better, it was making it much, much worse.
Yeah.
Because you're now adding something that could cause an infection, and you're also sealing up the wound in the wrong way, basically by putting a cork in it, which is not something you want to do if you want the wound to ever heal.
By the way, I think there was yeah. Rodisby, this is why I was laughing. He says, I thought you meant that Karl got an injury to his sword. I just thought, oh no.
No, thankfully that.
But tell the one about what Greg did to you.
Greg just slapped my fingers, basically.
And you decided you weren't going to wear a glove that day, or you forgot him, and you're like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
So always fight with gloves on, fighting gloves.
And gloves are now absolutely mandatory. I'm at the point now where I think that if you're not using gloves, then you don't get sick leave either. It is a mandatory safety part of your safety equipment.
You want to know what Torben wrote? Torben wrote, when Karl gets drunk enough, he reminds me of a drunk Edmund Blackadder. See the little goblin sitting in the tree. Oh, it's kind of... I could totally see that. Robert says, I started moving my large pouch to the front. He's Scottish. Let's see. Roddy says, poor Robert getting punched straight in the tits like that. Albert says, me and a bowman at winter training in Halden had a feud once. Yeah, because I got me a lot that weekend and I had a massive bruises on my leg from all the spears and blunt arrows from him. She sat there and get hit with blunt arrows and you're just, oh, don't do that. Blunt arrows would hurt. We did have some people trying to do this. It's not a really good idea though. But the Freeman took one of the arrow targets that had broke because basically the middle gets all the arrows, but the outer side of the foam is still pretty well intact. So they chopped the foam up into these big square blocks and they put them on the end of broken arrows.
Yeah.
But the thing is, all you need to do, and it would cause the arrows when you would shoot them, they would just kind of go lightly through the air like Nerf. But all you need is the arrow to actually continue to go through the foam and into something.
I didn't use full pull either.
No,
so
that's true. They didn't, and they were shooting upwards and not straight. But it's a little.
I don't know if
it looked like fun, but it.
I don't know if I would trust any particular Freeman enough to let them do that to me.
Nah, but they weren't shooting him. Oh yeah, no, they were shooting him in the butt and stuff, weren't they?
If you give that arrow full pull instead of half or whatever they are supposed to be doing, then I strongly suspect that there is very good odds that the arrow will just continue through the padding as soon as the padding hits your butt.
I would think so.
And then you have an arrow in the butt, which is not great. No. Next to the archery target, up down in the village, we have this really big cow skull.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah.
And the cow skull has a lot of
I have pictures of that somewhere.
Arrow impacts.
Puncture wounds, basically.
So basically, bullet holes in the actual skull of the cow. And the reason they are there is that one of my co-workers, that should not be named, thought that our bows were toys, not weapons. So we take the cow skull and we put it in front of the target, and then we enthusiastically shoot at it with bows and arrows, and then we take him over to it and go, okay, so exactly how much harder than a cow skull is your skull?
Maybe he's hard-headed. Get it?
Well, he kind of is, but I don't think he's that hard.
Or did you mean some other soft spherical body parts? Laugh out loud, just kidding. Okay, did I just... I did.
The
Let me
bad
see.
thing is when you see people actually get hurt or end up in pain from reenactment combat, it's always for the really stupid things that you don't
That's
really
better.
predict that will happen. So it is always somebody dropping their own shield on their toes, or I saw a girl in Bergen. I don't think she was actually hurt, but she was in a lot of pain because she was stepping backwards. Then her foot snagged on her root and she landed on her butt. But she had this really big water bottle on the back of her belt. So that thing hits her tailbone pretty much perfectly.
Ooh.
And then she is just kind of balled up into fetus position and...
Have you ever got hit in the tailbone before? I think twice. I mean, once when I was a teenager, we were swimming anyway, and then horsing around, and one of them runs along you run along the wood, and you forget that wet wood is slippery, and then you fall, land on your tailbone, and you can't walk right for about 4 days. That hurts like a bitch.
The thing you expect to happen is that your opponent hits you in the head with a sword.
Yeah.
That practically never happens. What keeps happening is stupid shit like this. Because the thing that bites you in the ass is always the thing that you're not looking at.
Namely your tailbone?
Yeah, the water bottle you were just carrying around for some reason.
Yeah, for something like that, yeah.
It's the things that you're not kind of mentally prepared of, that will be a problem. That's the things that comes and bite you in the ass.
Like a bunch of Dutch children with a Thor's hammer standing 5-6 meters away.
You know my opinion about the Dutch.
Garcia, I'm so sorry.
It's not like I would turn my back on Dutch children.
I can't control him. He's gonna just mock on every nationality, no matter what, anyway. But make sure you...
The reason I dislike the Dutch is also the reason I dislike the Norwegians.
He doesn't like the Norwegians either. There's Garcia going ... Both
the Norwegians and the Dutch think it is super important that they as parents translate the whole fucking goddamn tour to their 2-year-old toddler that I have on their arm.
Hey, they're good throwers.
I once had a guided tour with one Norwegian father with a kid and one Dutch father with a kid. And I have to do it in English because the Dutch guy doesn't speak Norwegian. So I'm speaking English. The Norwegian guy is translating what I'm saying to Norwegian. And the Dutch guy is translating what I'm saying to Dutch. To their kids who are basically just discovering that there are something called colors in the world. And don't give a flying fuck about what happened 1,000 years ago. But no, super important. And obviously, having 3 people talk at once, then you speak up a little bit to kind of talk over the other 2. And all 3 of us does this. So at the end of the tour, we have 3 grown men growling at the top of their lungs to basically 2 toddlers. Which is such an incredible waste of my time and energy. But in this case, I can hit the Norwegians and the Dutch with the same stick.
Yeah.
They're idiots.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I gotta show you one thing here, and then ask him for another story. I thought this might be a good thing to show. Okay, so because sometimes if you get where your joint is like a little extra thick, the wool is too thick and it shows up, you can always see where your joint is. You can eliminate the thickness. So if you're doing 2 + 2 here, or 2-ply threads, splitting it in 2 anyway, this is my normal ply, and that's kind of thick where you can still see it. You can reduce 1 or 2 threads. So this one, I tend to pull out part of it. That goes in the jar. And now it's 3 threads that will be spliced. And that will reduce the thickness. This wool is really easy to join, so I'm not using a very big length. But if it's a harder wool to join, then you might want to use a longer length. But, oops, sorry. But I had to add the spit. You didn't want to watch that. But it keeps it from getting too thick when I pull through. I gotta do it more than that, though. It's still too weak. This is let out the rage. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. More violence. No, but that's pretty good. But you can see sometimes it gets a little thick right where the joint is. And if it's too thick, then just take out a little bit more thickness. But that is one way to eliminate that problem. Let's see, I'll turn it again and then get to the end. As soon as I get to the...
I thought that was what the keto diet was for.
The keto diet was for what? Sorry, I feel the burn?
Eliminate the thickness.
Eliminate the thickness. Yeah, wasn't that what every diet does?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay, so now I got to the top of my pinky here. So then when the yarn comes around to here, then I can decrease.
Okay.
So I'll get that far.
Out on parole for bad behavior, come on.
If she starts scratching the floor again, though, and looking like she wants to do her business over there, then she needs to go back in again. She was on like 6 repeats. Scratching the carpet's fine. That one's a rejected carpet. Okay. Let's see. Robert says, some of the shows we do with other societies, we use a metal detector to check the arrows before they go in the battlefield. Oh yeah, he said I gotta go a little bit further up here. The thought of that is bringing me to a cold sweat. Foam is of no use. It needs to be hard rubber. No, I agree. We don't actually. We kind of cut that activity on their own. They were doing it in the after hours, but we eliminated that. It's not pretty
exactly
quickly.
Foam, and it's not exactly hard rubber. But the thing that we're using was
it was an archery target.
Cut off pieces of an archery target, kind of stuck to the arrow.
Layers and layers of thick foam.
The problem is that this was not exactly what you would call professionally made.
No, they were just broken off pieces of it. Yeah, but the full thickness at least. Let's see it here, Karl. I need you to plug me in. You got it? Plug me in before we lose battery here. I see he's putting his shoes on, so he's getting ready to go out and do addictions. Okay, I will do some more needle binding here then, but I'm not quite to the point where I'm going to decrease yet, but if I make some space here. Give the cat some brochure. That'll shut her up. I tried to give her some ice cream with banana in it. It didn't quite do it. Okay. This is going to be tricky because there's a cord now in the way here. There. Look, I got to keep my wool in order here. There you go. There's an egg for you, Torben. Okay, so I have my join here, so I'm going to have to pull through. It's somewhere over here is where the join is. I have to pull through in small tugs so I don't pull it apart. Because no matter how good my join is, if I pull the yarn too hard, it will come apart. So when you get closer to it, just do small pulls until you're beyond that point. Not the big long arc pulls where you knock the person out next to you. No, that cat's not annoying. Can I interest anybody in a Siamese cat? She misses Karl. Okay, so yeah, I need to get to this point, and then if you fold it in half, so your thumb is like here, fold it in half, I will be decreasing, taking these two together, and then immediately the next two together. So a total of 2 decreases. But I don't think I'm going to decrease on this side. I think I kind of like, because the fit is so good, you're going to want a little bit of movement for your fingers in there. So I think just doing one. And then when the whole mitten is, it does, Nalbinding does stretch lengthwise. It stretches this way, not so much this way. So when the whole work gets to here, just covering there, then I will sew the top together because it will stretch that little extra. Torben says, "Har var det bästa kan hända och först sända katten iväg." Want to comment on that, Karl?
He's quoting Jakob Sonde.
Jakob Sonde?
Yeah.
Sunde? What's Jakob Sonde?
told you about him before. He's a Norwegian poet.
I should probably translate that bite of the whale. Here, probably the best thing that could happen was to first send the cat into the wall. No, on the way. I like indie veg, but veg and wall is the same thing. Wall and way is kind of the same word, but different meaning. No, but here you mean send the cat on its way. Yeah, han er det vel best å sende katten i
It's
vei.
a poem. It's untranslatable, I'm afraid, but
Yeah.
or at least translating it would be a hell of a lot of work. But it's a poem, but it's called Karl and Katten. It's about an old guy with an old cat, and he feels that he is getting close to the end of his life. And he decides that maybe it's best to send the cat on first. That's the sentence that Torben is saying. So
Well, he's not wrong. Here, I'm going to turn it back because it's hard to...
He ties a stick of dynamite to the cat.
Yeah. Oh!
And the cat just keeps following him. That's the whole poem. About an old guy running from his explosive cat that is following him and thinks this is fun.
I have visual. Would you be the old guy?
It's actually a good poem. It's the way that Jakobson writes. It's his poems are great, but are practically untranslatable.
Yeah.
He wrote one about the area where I'm from, or basically my neighbors to the north, the people on Stadlandet.
Yeah.
That's across the mountain, so it's still in the same old county as Selje, part of Selje kommune, back when Selje kommune was a thing. But they are very, very different. They speak another dialect, and they are very different in every way. And he wrote about a poem called Briggen på Stadlandet. The brig at this area.
The dock at Stadlandet.
No, not Briggen. It's a type of sailing ship.
Oh, yeah.
And
that one.
the whole story is about how the locals steal every component of this ship. And the poem is like about a guy who kind of walks from place to place and goes, and there I see the ship bell. It is now a church bell. How odd. And the preacher's chair in the church is the old captain's chair from the brig, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So basically what he is saying is that they're all kleptomaniacs. So this is obviously very popular on my side of the mountain, less popular on their side of the mountain.
I think it's a schooner, but what brig, yeah, what that kind of boat is. But
A brig is not the
How
same
do you
as a
spell
schooner,
it?
because a schooner would be a skonnert in Norwegian.
Okay, so what's brig? B-R-Y? Because I keep getting brew when I do this.
B-R-I-G-G.
Yeah. Brig? It just comes up with. Okay, anyway. I was just curious if I had that right. Nolvi actually points out something quite interesting. She says, the way you spliced your yarn together reminds me of how the ER doctor spliced your hair together with the glue to mend your scalp. Not too uncommon. You know, that's actually a very good observation because it kind of is the exact same thought. You're pulling the yarns together. Okay, I think. Oh, I've got these little pieces of stuff in my wool. I forgot what that's called. I will look it up one of these days. Okay, and then we have to attach a thumb yet, but I think, so I don't lose my color scheme over there, my order, because I still have to do the other mitten too. I think I'll attach it with a different yarn just to show you. I've seen some people make a little thumb and then whip stitch it together at the bottom. That was kind of an interesting thing at the base. But no, I'll show you how I kind of just start loops and then put on. And then make the thumb. I split my yarn. One bad thing about 2-ply yarn is sometimes the two yarns, or it's made with 2 strings going around each other, so it's 2-ply. You can split the ply and it ends up looking like 2 loops when it's actually just 1 loop. And that is what I just did on my connecting stitches, and then it has a funny look to it. You don't want to do that. Let's see, I think one more. Karl's like in the line of fire here. Okay. Brig, yeah, this is Albert, B-R-I-G-G. Okay. Oh, Oh, did we change our clock? No, we change our clocks tomorrow. No, we changed our clocks on the 26th. Jesus, I didn't even notice that. No wonder I'm sleeping. I'm getting up early in the morning on accident. No, but we sprung ahead. I should be oversleeping. I don't know. I didn't even realize the clocks changed until now, but it did. It was the 26th. We're at much later than that. No, it's tomorrow. It's tonight. Okay, good. Thank you. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Maybe it was because I was gonna say, isn't it usually on a weekend?
You usually notice.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Right hand. This goes up to my pinky is covered right there. So that's where I'm going to do that means I'm going to start decreasing it over on this side because I want it to shape this way. So first decrease there, and then this one will be that high. Then I can either decrease there or wait one round and then start decreasing so it rounds. So it's really fairly simple. I need to do one more loop, 2 more loops because I want these two on this side of the end to be together, and then those two. So I'll do 2 more regular stitches. Let's see. 4th loop away, rest forward. 1, 2, cat hair. I noticed the picture I took for the thumbnail in here had so much cat hair on my stuff. There's another little stick. Yeah, so that's right. So now that I'm on these 2 stitches here, I've got 2 left on the end of my so-called row. I don't know if you can see it there. There's 2. So I'll take those 2 together plus 1 old one. And then do my stitch, 4th one away, 3 forward. And then so basically I did the last one on this side. So if I were to flip it and look at it this way, now I'm going to do the first 2 together on this side. But it's essentially 2 decreases in a row. So 2 new ones, 1 old one. So I'm losing a stitch here as well. If your mittens are fitting particularly tight, maybe you don't need to decrease that much. And then I will continue on as normal until I come around here again. And then I'll do the same decrease. Can you hear? Look, look, look. She's whining while she's drinking. Okay, and then I don't know how much it'll show. It'll definitely show in the next row, though. There. It'll start tapering now. Be a little bit more rounder. Okay. And then my bolero is done. Yay. Oh, yeah, Nikki, if you haven't seen that, I have to see if I can find it. Nikki finished her bolero. It's awesome. I will find a picture. Let's see. Nalbinding. It's I just realized the darkness on my computer was pretty far down. See. I think it's in. I think she has it in both groups. The Nalbinding and Nalbinding International, which is essentially the same group. One is just created after the fact due to an ugly divorce between the 2 owners and the other one. There we go. I see it. Okay. Ah! I just turned my gimbal. Let's see, this way. There we go. Now it's maybe back again. Sorry, I'm trying to get the gimbal to... There we go. Do you see it? So I like the way that she did this spiral in the back. But she basically... It looks like she did a spiral piece here. And then attached it onto the 2 sleeves. And then kind of did a row together all the way around. Clean my keyboard. It's a little bit... There's no clean keyboards when you're needle binding. You got yarn textile for everywhere. There we go. Torben also says we have to clean the couch. Torben, you are welcome to come over and clean my house for me. There's the sleeve. Love the yarn. I love the yarn color. Anyway, and then you can see the spiral there. It was really cool. Congratulations, Nikki. That was a big project. I'm not cleaning my keyboard just now. We have enough cats. Okay. So, let's see what else I have on here. I have to catch up a little bit. Nikki says there's changes next Sunday. Okay, so I know United States has done it at least 2 weeks ago. Ready says my new sweater is Russian 1+3+3 in a 2-ply yarn. Laugh out loud. It is also very dark gray. I might be a masochist. You were definitely a masochist. And you wanted to, I have another thing I got to show you too. I sent the, oh, no, never mind. It's too far gone. I can't see it. It's too far to look it up. But anyway, I was sorting things and there was 3 things that were very, very, very similar and it did my head in. But yeah, working with dark yarn, there's a lot of love in that. I'm already thinking this yarn that I'm working with now is darker than I intended it to be. Why is this not plugging in? There we go. Okay, then I will get another color yarn and show you a thumb because we're getting at close to 2 hours here. So I know we can tell war wound stories and anti-Dutch kid stories for quite a long time. There's Karl going over there. What? Holy crap, Nikki, that is awesome, says Robert. Yeah. Oh, Lord, how much cat hair on the keyboard? Haha. It's only because it's a dark keyboard and a light cat. It's actually not just cat hair. It's fiber as well. But yeah,
and she generally prefers my keyboard over Karen's.
She does. She knocks yours on the floor.
My keyboard all the time and kind of rarely messes with yours.
Yeah.
Because you launch cats a little bit more enthusiastically than I do.
I don't like cats on the table. Cats should not be on the table. And if a cat wants to eat from a human's leftover food, it should be on the floor, not on the table. Okay, so let's look at... Ah! The gimbal went nuts again. Oh, the battery died. Okay, that's not good. We'll put this in here. Needed to point to the bottom here, but it needs to stay like that. Let's see there, and then, oh, turn. There we go. Point downwards. There we go. See if it works while I plugged it in. Thank you. I actually do like the rafters in this room. No, it's a rental. We don't own it, but I do like the rafters. Okay. Now the gimbal decided to die just then, but I've got enough battery on my phone we can charge, and plus we're almost done. So this is the yarn thickness that I'm using for next month's stitch, and I'm using the word stitch very carefully because it's actually 2 stitches. It's 2-stitch combination. But anyway, I'm using this thickness of yarn, and the reason I'm using this thinner yarn, I'll try to find a different color though, is because if I go anything thicker, it'll look, you won't really see the effect that I'm going for. That, I think, fell on the floor when the cats got on the table. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. No, I wanted to have a holy effect. This like lacy bit of a look to it. So that's why I need a thinner yarn for this next month. Nikki wanted to look...
the Viking in that thing.
It does kind of look like a Viking in that thing. But that's a pouch. That was just a test piece. Technically, I have a lot of this pink yarn left, so I could make some...
Yes, but what is a bikini if it is not a boob pouch?
Okay, Karl. All right, so here's the thumb. Goes in like that. You have like the inside of your thumb, the outside of your thumb. But actually, I would do it the same way here. You want your first row to go on the outside of your thumb, not across this way, because this is it. You need more height on this side of your thumb than you do that way because it curves this way. So I will always start on the inside of the thumb. It is easier if whatever stitch you're doing, if you have the loops, the first loops ready. So I need 4 loops ready because this is a 4-loop stitch. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're standing far back, Karl. I got a long thread. Can you take that out of the way? I don't want to knock stuff on the floor with my hand here, but I'm hugging a gimbal. Okay, there. fourth, third, second, first loop, leader yarn. Okay, so now I'm ready. Now I will take these 2 or 3 together here. This is the cross loop. This will always be a little bit too big. And then I'm making one more. And then I'll make my stitch. 1 back, 3 forward. I have to pick this out afterwards, but okay. Then I'm going F2, so 1 new, 1 old. Next loop and 1 old. And you do this all the way around. There's the 4th loop. So whatever stitch you're doing, but you don't want to pull too tight here. That'll loosen up your stitches. And you'll get that gap at your thumb. 1 back, 3 forward. Let's see if I can get that order right. There. So if you pull the body of the mitten too far away, you're going to stretch out those loops. Don't do it. You can always weave in later. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. There, 1 new, 1 old. This is how I always start my mittens, though, or my thumbs. But remember, needle binding stretches lengthwise. So when your thumb is right about here, that's a good time to stop. Don't wait till it goes higher, otherwise you'll end up with extra long thumbs. Because you're just going to bind around in a circle now and then close it off at the top. There is no tapering really needed. You can just cinch all the end loops together. Now hopefully you have left yourself enough gap. Let's see if I put that in right order. You left yourself a little bit of extra space around here because this next row will be a little bit smaller. It'll make it a little bit tighter. Let's see, now finish this. I think I did 4 over the bridge, 4 chain, and then maybe as much as 16 around the bottom of the thumb because this is such a dense stitch. I think that's what I know. I ended up doing more, only 4 across the back though, or the inside of my thumb. Yeah, no, it was. I skipped 14 on the chain to get the right size thumb. And there. And it's a lot of stitches to go around this thumb hole. This is actually the first time I think that I'm showing how to do a thumb hole on any video. I did one with a sock heel though. That might be on Instagram. Back when I had access to it. I know it's unrelated to Nalbinding, but I showed one of my sister's video about affogato coffee. Oh, that sounds good. Interesting. I figured some Mexican chocolate would be a good contrasting flavor to make the flavor sweet and savory. I love coffee. I would do that. And I noticed, though, that if I have chocolate, because chocolate I always say isn't my favorite thing, but I do like it. But chocolate and coffee together is really good combination. Okay, I'm almost to that split here. Actually, I think I am, because here's my next loop. And here's my cross. Right there is where it switches, and then I move on to this row. Or this would be the next one, I think, like that. So this one, I will take the next one, or the first one on the next row, on the other row, and then this cross at the same time. Maybe I have to kind of flip it because this is my old loop. Something like that. There we go. And then now I have to work the 4 stitches across the top. 1 new, 1 old. There's the old. 1, 2, 3. This is such a dense stitch. Or DSP would love it. It's a dense stitch. There. 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and there's my 4th loop. It's hard to keep it on the thumb. It wants to jump off as you're going around. But as long as you keep your loop order. There's 1, 2, 3. There's the 4th. This was not the easiest stitch to go around. Okay, now this is the join at the beginning. So that's my new one and my old one there. Okay, now I'm back at the beginning again here. Can kind of lock the loops into place. I will unpick the loops that I made on my thumb. He's cat managing over there so nicely. 1, 2, 3. I gotta say, this stitch was easy to unpick from the wrong end. 4. Okay. And I can even try to make these a little bit smaller if I wanted to. By holding that loop there. And pull tight. Sure. There. Now, get this out of the way. So, this tail, you can just pull it on the inside here. So it doesn't annoy you. There. Then I will pick up these, I think 2 or 3 here. And this old one. Nope, I gotta do 3. Here's I wanted to start right where this cross comes out here. So if I do 3, I should be there right before it. Then 1 old. Then I have my thumb loops, 1, 2, 3, and there's the 4th one. Then make sure there's still some thumb space in there. There you go. Now I'm back to 1 and 1. 1 new, 1 old. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, it is a little tricky to use a stitch with this many loops on such a small circumference or a small tube like the thumb. Okay, and I think maybe 2 more and we'll be past the start point. 1, 2, 3, where's number 4? There's 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. There, I'm gonna take a look now. That is how I've attached my thumb, and I can't wait to pick all this out again. It is a bit loose here, sorry. It is a bit loose here. That's okay. Because you can take your tail that's now tucked in on the inside here somewhere. If I can find it. There. And pull it back out. And then you can use this to kind of weave your thumb, the gaps at the thumb there shut. The trick is to not pull it tight, but to just weave it kind of loosely. I'm not going to do it now, but just kind of go over, under, whatever you need to do, but weave it in loosely and then back this way again, the opposite. Because if you pull the yarn tight, then you'll have closed up this area, but you'll have created a new hole here. And you don't want to do that. So, but you can go back and forth and kind of fix it that way. But because this is such a tall stitch, it's actually like that in height. It does leave a bigger gap. And you may have a similar issue over here, but actually this looks pretty good. But if this hole opens up, it's the same thing. Just kind of weave it a little bit through there. But that's how I do my thumbs. I want to go around the outside first so that it's 1 row taller on this side than it is on that side. And then you do it till you get about here, and then you can do some decreasing if you want to, but I think once you get to right to the top of your thumb, like your thumbnail there, you can just wrap the yarns, you can just thread it through the top of the loops and just cinch it shut. because it does stretch this way. But that's my mittens, basically. Let's see if I've got questions in here. For the chocolate, I simply add it to my coffee to get some extra calories for my weight. On the other hand, weight is not my problem. I have a big issue there. I'm not exactly losing weight, but rather to balance it naturally without increasing or decreasing my weight. Good idea, Max. Nikki says, there. I'm just spinning new yarn, so the pool interior feels like a tropical country. So hot. Oh, yeah, it's going to be really hot down there. One new, one old, one blue. I have to count it to myself in my head, Audra, then it makes more sense. It's like the third, counting 3 loops back. I'm a counter. I can't help it. It's the OCD. Vikini is bikini with horns on it. It kind of reminds me of Madonna in the 80s and 90s. Oh, we're always joking that when you're making a hat in Nalbinding, if you do this round, if you're doing a round start hat in Nalbinding, sometimes it goes like this, a little cone-like. But either way, until you get to the part where it clearly looks like a hat, it starts to look like a Vikini. So that's where we call them Vikinis. Because anytime you're making a hat from the top down, it just starts like, it feels like you're making a boob. Let's see, I can't lose my order there. Vikini is a bikini with horns on it. Reminds me of Madonna in the 80s and 90s, said Torben. Karl just came in again. That or a new book on Nalbinding, says Nikki. It's not knitting. It has net making and simple looping, etc. Oh, that might be Sally Pointer. Sally Pointer's going to come here on Thursday. She arrives. We're looking really forward to that. She's got a class to teach on, well, she's going to hold a lecture, and then she's got a class on Sprung, the same one that I took when I was visiting a year ago. So that will be really fun. We're looking forward to seeing her. I will be attending her lecture, though. The Sprung I knew how to do, or so I thought, because I was learning Nalbinding and Sprung at the exact same time. But because there was a need for, there was an increased interest in people wanting to learn how to needle binding and not enough teachers at the time, I was encouraged to focus on Nalbinding and set Sprung aside. So then last year, when we're in, I think I could take her class. My boss is willing to pay for the class, and it's okay to have a refresher. I haven't done it in a while, but I know how to do this. It's fine. Holy crap. I mean, it took me like, I remember this being, I'm trying to be able to figure it out and realizing I need to focus on it and everything, but it took a second longer for it to click. I didn't realize how much I had lost of it. So, but anyway, she was a really good teacher to have. So I'm looking forward to that. People learning the Sprung in the village. We don't have enough people doing Sprung in the village. If you don't know what Sprung is, it's a bit like weaving, but you're taking your strings, you're switching the strings around, and then back away the other way, kind of thing, so that it makes like a net-like structure. But that's Sally Pointer. You can look her up on YouTube. She has lots of videos. But yeah, she wrote a book, Nalbinding, It's Not Knitting, or something similar to that, I forget. But she's bringing her books with her, and we'll be able to have them in the shop. Well, you can buy them from her directly while she's here, and then we add a commission and sell them in the shop. So I'm really looking forward to that, because it's I haven't seen her book yet. I knew she was coming, so I didn't get one yet. As in fishing nets? Yeah, pretty much you can make fishing nets out of them. The actual fishing nets, the way they make those, I think are more like a knot consistent, but if you were to do Sprung and got a hole in it, the whole thing would just unravel. So that wouldn't make a very good fishing net, but it could work. Where there's a will, there's a way. Drea's here. She says, I'm thinking of starting to try a 3-ply twine. Bast is difficult to find and buy, and I'm not sure how to make it yet. That's the thing I was looking forward into her class last year, was to make fiber craft. Dandelions I used this year, dandelion stems. Sorry, dying. Some of the Maori YouTube channels, says Nikki, will have that kind of thing too. What natural plant-based fiber do you have? Tickle in my throat. Maori weaving is called raranga. Am I saying that right? It's not Viking, but they have been fishing for centuries. You also have the billum bags, and there's a lady, crap, I forgot what it was, Bonsai Woman or something, on YouTube. And she does a lot of Nalbinding and fiber craft work. Water.
Guess who's back on his high ground?
Oh yeah, he's gonna dump into your lap. Look at him up there. Are you are you trying to repeat last week?
No.
Hey, silly. A couple weeks ago it was falling cats from the sky. Maggie says, love to see how you do your thumbs similar to mine. Good to know. That's just kind of the way I made them, but I don't like it when the thumbs do this on mittens, but there's no problem with it. I just don't like to have a lot of meat in my mitten here because it feels weird to try to close your mitten. You've got all this fabric here. So I like it to try to make it so that it closes upward. I never heard of Sprung until I joined the Discord here, says Radisby. Oh, you've got to try it. It's quite fun. But it is you need a lot of focus. But the first time you do it, try it with 2 contrasting colors. PJ says I tried Sprung once, couldn't get the hang of it. No, and the thing is, if you fuck up a row, I mean, you can put in these little safety lines so that you can go back and fix it. But it's in Norwegian they say tålmodighetsprøve.
Test of patience.
Test of patience. So I used to do it in front of the tourists, but then there was like an error that was made, and I'd try to go back and fix it, and it'd take me like 6 hours, and I'd fix the damn thing, and I'd be like, Zen. And then I would talk to tourists again and show them, and I'd make another mistake, and I find out this is not a really good project for me to do in front of tourists, or not one that I expect to turn out the way I want. Torben says, I would imagine they would use a similar method of tying nets as some of the old nets I found on the farm here. Quite coarse nets made by some fiber yarn, maybe hemp. Yeah, I could see that. There's the one where you have to, like a hand, but you have like this shuttle with like it looks as a needle, but it's a shuttle at the same time, and you go this way and then that way out again, and then you have to use your hand anyway to measure how big the loops are going to be.
My grandfather used those types of yarn nets when I was a kid, and he repaired them himself, but obviously I don't know what kind of technique he used.
Actually, I think it's this way and then this, yeah. There's a net tying thing. I had a friend who made a bunch of them for hay bales out of paracord.
I think Holger knows how to do it. I seem to remember seeing him make nets at one point.
Yeah, there's a couple hanging in the village, the ones that he made. I showed Marita how to do it, and she also made one. But I don't know if I was tying it the same method that he was using. I just showed her the way that
2011,
she used fiber. Yeah.
Peter Merritt had the idea that if you're supposed to be a village, you should have some way of showing how people got food. So he put up a lot of fishing equipment, among other things, big yarn, and a big net that was hanging on poles.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we didn't have access to handmade historical nets. So he made one, he got one bone one out of nylon.
Yeah.
And when it gets dark, that fucking thing is invisible.
Oh yeah. Did you clothesline yourself?
I caught myself in a net.
He caught himself in a net.
Spectacular.
And the Vikings were eating well that week. Not really, it's all skin and bone. Nikki said, as you said it right, Karen. Okay, Raronga. We use New Zealand flax plants here. They make blankets, cloaks, shoes, everything you can think of. Wow, that'd be quite cool to see. Nikki says they make eel traps too, called hinaki. Pretty genius primitive tech. Is that a bit like the crab traps that Holger made?
The traps on Holger's wall are eel traps.
Explain how those work, by the way, for those who don't know.
You basically have sticks that it's so hard to explain without an illustration, but
it looks like 2 cones.
Fishing type of fishing equipment that is called ruse in Norwegian, and it's pretty close to that, except that the entrance is in the end, not on the side. So the fish gets in through something that is kind of like this, and when he gets in, he can't go back out because he kind of has to push these things open.
Okay. I thought that was the one that looked like the 2 cones, like one cone shoved inside another cone.
Yeah, that's one way to explain it, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay. No, I thought that was quite a cool thing. We should probably do more nets in the village. Robert says, I was thinking Holger would know. Yep, there you go. Nikki says, brave PJ, how are the illustrations going? What is the PJ doing? PJ said, yeah, try making sprung, but my toes went through the holes. Sprung sucks. Yeah, that one you might need to use a thicker yarn, or you have to make the rows much more dense when you like you would do with a weaving loom or a weaving stick and push up. You'd have to like really push them up tight. And then of course with sprung, what you're doing from the top down, you are also doing from the bottom up. So you have to do that. And I'm really good at getting the top tight, but not the bottom. Radisby said, so he didn't put up a fishing net so much as a Karl net.
Yeah. The thing is, he was there in opening hours, but then he went home at 6 o'clock. I used to hang around there until I was too tired to hang around there anymore, and then I go home. So I go home at midnight.
Okay.
So it's a little bit darker, so he didn't really consider the risk of half-blind, slightly drunk idiots walking around after dark.
Karl does have no night vision, basically. Doesn't have any night vision, by the way.
Yep.
So I'll put this
none
back
whatsoever.
in. There we go. Yeah, Nikki says it's a similar concept on the traps. Torben says, I like those huge salmon traps that they use in the fjords here. A gigantic net labyrinth for the salmon to get lost in. That's a really good way of explaining them, actually. Illustrations are improving, says PJ. I'm getting better at faces. Oh, are you doing illustrations in your book? You're doing your own illustrations. That's quite cool. Nikki says, awesome, I hope what I sent you helped. Okay, and then PJ says, I'm still trying to get Sherrick's robes to look right, though. Oh, so cool. Okay, but Otter, the beaver butcher, any progress there?
Woman, I'm trying to explain this to you.
It's been, like, what, 4 weeks now since Otter the Beaver Butch came to fruition?
But then we have Torben recommending the Battle Zone game. I have you wanting to play Conan. So, when in the Flying Duck?
You can do it while I'm needle binding and working on my summer projects. I gotta start. I did start spinning some more wool, by the way. I've started so many projects. Ta-da! No, yeah. We'll do it when we clean the house. If I ask you to clean the house, then Otter the Beaver Butcher will get done real quickly, I bet. The house won't get clean, but...
No matter how motivated I am, this is hundreds of hours of work before pen goes to paper. Okay,
so no Otter the Beaver Butcher. PJ says, when this ends, I'm going to try the wizard's tutorial I just found. Oh, I tried to make the cover. Robert says, come on, Karl, we need the Otter the Beaver the Butcher books. I'm with Robert on this one. Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind another source of income.
Neither would I. Come on. Audra says, Butcher, Butcher, Butcher. See, all these people are just waiting on you, Karl. Nikki said she's working on the last 50 grams of 150 gram spin. Oh, you're like in there. Use AI, says Nolvia. You could use AI, says Nolvia. Otter the Beaver Butcher, the AI version.
I've seen how AI treats Vikings.
I was kind of surprised because when Brie wrote her book, the Viking doll one, she used AI to translate it to English, and it wasn't too much to correct, actually. I mean, there was corrections I had to make, but not much. I was actually kind of impressed by it. I wasn't expecting AI to do that well, especially when it's referring to sewing patterns.
Translating things is... The AI is basically a language algorithm. So, of course, it can translate things. The problem
but it doesn't always do it right.
When you ask it for actual information and it tries to use the internet, it's even dumber than people when it comes to sort out what's good information and what's bad information.
I remember I had I was receiving a claim from Germany to the Norwegian company that I worked at. And it was like a Home Depot kind of a place anyway. And they were talking about the braces on the shelving unit wasn't quite like the way it was supposed to be. But so they translated it from German into Norwegian, and then sent the email, and it says Tånreguleringen på hyllene funkar inte som det ska. Tånregulering and brackets, they are both braces, but one you wear on your teeth. The other one is for the shelf. So we're saying braces for your teeth on the shelf were not quite working. It was kind of cute, but no, I can see AI screwing stuff like that up.
Yes, and also if you use an ordinary translating program, or for that matter, if you use a dictionary,
Yeah.
if the word is the wrong word, but it is spelled correctly, then it won't pick it up.
Yeah.
So you have the famous sign. This might have been done on purpose because it is so good, but there is a sign that I've seen several places that doesn't say trespassers will be prosecuted. It says trespassers will be prostituted.
You're finding a lot of these signs on YouTube. There's some guy that speaks with a real...
It's the YouTube algorithm that makes it so that if I watch... Well, it goes for everybody, but if I watch something, then YouTube goes with the decision that he likes it. Give him more.
Yeah, so you're watching some guy talking in this real redneck sort of voice, reading signs.
Yeah, and he reads the signs verbatim, and it is insane signs. He is really good at finding them. More people are sending them to him.
Like stop written with an extra P, or parking with the parking, and I don't know. And there's another one that was something like a for whore or something, and it... yeah, no, anyway... There were some pretty interesting ones. And then another one that I've been kind of catching on to constantly, which I've been sending to you, is the Ruby and something radio station. I'm not sure if this is real. I got to look it up at this point.
Fuck me. Asshole.
We can go now. I was just waiting for that. I thought, how long do I have to babble? How long do I have to babble about stupid podcasts before the cat lands on Karl's package? You're welcome. Thank you for hanging in there. I knew it would pay off in the end.
Silly, you're doing this on purpose.
He's like the heaviest cat in the house. Laugh out loud, and there it goes, Robert says. Laugh out loud, Jesus. I see the delay is catching up now. You want to hear about the stupid podcast? Okay. Anyway, it was something about dating. If you went out on a date the night before, and or a couple nights ago, or whatever, and on your first date, the guy doesn't call you back. You're all frustrated. You don't understand why. It's like he just suddenly... I mean, you thought it was a great date, so you call this show, and they call him to find out... Why? Do you remember you went on a date? And the guy's like, you're calling from where? It's like, radio show, da-da-da. Okay. Yeah, did you have a date the other night? Yeah, no, I did. And how did it go? It touched down. And then the guy starts saying, well, no, it didn't really go, blah, 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 blah. And they start explaining why. And it could be any ridiculous excuse. The most recent one was the vegetarian. Well, I thought it was great. It was really great. And then she brought me back to her house, and I didn't know it, but she was a murderer. This lady who hunts and also does taxidermy apparently didn't fit in really well together. And then she's listening on the other end while this guy goes off about what a horrible date it was. And then she starts chiming in. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of them, like the Tesla driver, and that wouldn't let the girl eat certain foods because he was afraid it would, in the restaurant, because he was afraid that she would transfer it to his car. And there's so many different ones anyway.
Yeah. They are like I think they're probably not real.
They have, I mean, it's almost as if they have two people playing a part. Okay, you are a vegetarian, you went on a date. An animal rights activist, and you are a hunter and you go on a date, and then they kind of just ad-lib the rest. But I don't know, but it seems they're almost too good to be true.
The cousin fucking one is
that was
funny. Is probably the one that made me go, no, this can't possibly be.
What is that one called though? It's something Jubal or Ray or something. Anyway, but it keeps coming up. I'll try to find it out for next time. Let's see. Touchdown, Max AI. Oh yeah, and Novio was by the way was saying before the cat jumped on you. about the AI. Laugh out loud. I don't trust AI really. And then she sends a robot emoji. So there you go. Then you get the PJ says, laugh out loud, Nikki. That's why they're calling drop spindles. And then cat, laugh out loud, lo, 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 lo. And then there's Scotland chiming in with LMAO. And there it goes. And then there's Nolvia, jeez. PJ, rocket powered cat. And Rose says, oh my God, you frightened me. Bye-bye, sleep. Redisby says touchdown. PJ says, oh yeah, A is rubbish. Max A is rubbish for research. It hallucinates something. Nikki says, I missed it because I was spinning, so I will rewind back to the cat. Anyway, but no, we hung in long enough for the sweet ending. So there's your prize for sitting here for 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Can we switch places next time?
Fuck no. Besides, it's in mirror mode, so it already looks like I'm sitting over there.
Not to that fucker, it doesn't.
Anyway, it was worth it. So I'll find the name of that podcast though, and you can decide, is this real? I mean, because it's so funny. Anyway, and you can listen to your crazy redneck guy trying to read fucked up spellings on signs.
Yeah, and what's her face? You also have the lady who does a fairly similar thing.
Oh yeah, the one that talks just like this.
Yes.
She also reads things wrong.
She reads them exactly as they're written.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Her catchphrase is,
my yarn.
you would avoid this mistake if you have shown it to one 13-year-old boy. Just one.
And which mistake would that be?
Any kind of innuendo.
Oh.
And there are so many.
Oh, yeah. Like the 4 horse and it's spelled whores. And, yeah. Anyway, no, we should probably go because I don't know, but we should probably go get something done. When can we expect the next installment of Older the Beaver Butcher?
You know that we go to
no cat's gonna get you out of this now.
You know that we're going to full days on Wednesday.
Yeah. Right? April 1st, the village is now going to be open from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And right now is currently 10:30 to 2, and then we have 4 hours in office and production and whatever. But yeah, no, then we'll be open with the customers from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I think maybe next week when Audra is here, we might be able to be in the village a bit. We might be able to send from the village.
Maybe, but don't
bind I'm not going to bind myself to it because
it's completely dependent on the...
It depends on the gods of transportation. If we can find a way to get home, otherwise you do not want to walk home in the dark on a highway. So, but we shall see, but with any luck, fingers crossed. We should be able to do it. Okay. I miss it because it was... Yeah. Anyway, back to the cat. As your soft, round, fleshy objects intact?
I was sitting like this, so he kind of landed on my arm.
Okay.
But there was another cat here. I have to watch it back to find out what the fuck actually
I'm gonna
happened.
watch it back. I can't believe there's 2 episodes of that. No. Every day we're gonna have to do this. Every time.
I mean, we can probably make a reel at some point.
It's almost worth listening to the other cat whining just to have that happy ending. Okay, no, but we should go. We got a hot dish to make. We're gonna have hot dish today.
I tried to pick up because now she is doing silent hot laps, so she is getting tired. So as soon as
that's because YouTube's almost over. There's no point in whining anymore.
So she will probably go to sleep as soon as we go offline.
Yeah.
If I know her correctly.
Yep.
But I tried.
The goddess can drive you home, says Audra. I guess we're sending from the village. Hopefully, it might just be 1 hour though. We'll see, because it's a matter of daylight. So, but okay.
You notice that I picked up Fuzzy and took him over here.
Yeah.
Because one thing that she often likes better than to walk around and scream, that is to basically prevent Fuzzy from getting any attention. So I was hoping that she would try to just usurp his place and take over, but no, it's hot laps time.
By the way, the cat that was taking her bed and the cat that twice now has sprung from the heavens into his little pool of pleasantness over there. His name is Godzilla. Just Godzilla descends on Karl's balls. It's time to go. It's definitely time to go. See you next week. Yeah, I have no idea what the clocks will be, but just do what time is, and just Google what time is it in Norway now, and then you can figure it out. But it'll be hopefully at 6 o'clock. Yeah, if we're sending from the
If you're
village.
sending from the village.
I will
yeah,
try to announce it as soon in advance as I know, but if the goddess is willing to drive us home, then there's no reason I couldn't start at 6 o'clock, which means Karl joins in about 15, 20 minutes late, because you have to close the village and stuff first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the village closes at 6 o'clock to the customers, so I can't go in until then. And sometimes the customers are a little slow getting out the door, but
Don't expect us to be drowning in customers.
I keep splitting
at this
my
time.
yarn. No, I don't think so either, but you never know.
No, it is unpredictable, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, no, there was a flood of Norwegian sweaters going through the gas station today, as a lot of people figured out that if they take Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday off, 3 days in a row off, they get a really long Easter vacation.
As I've said multiple times before, if you do something that causes a tenfold increase in Norwegian tourists, it will still be barely noticeable.
Yeah, no, but it's the
because that's the rarest duck of them all.
Is that a...
What woman?
I have to show them what I found on Karl's lap. It's a cat claw. That's from the cat. That's the cat claw, the way they shed their fingernails there.
Yeah.
How did it feel, Karl? I don't know if you can see that so much there. If I get my finger in the way, you won't be able to see because
Silly.
it likes to...
Silly.
There. No, he's fine. He's just watching Carla, but there you can see there's the point of the claw and there's where it sheds. But yeah, no, that was in your pant leg there, Karl. Must have been one hell of a fall. Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. There. You can see it's kind of like hollow. It falls off like a... That's why they scratch. They try to pull those off. But it's a little hollow, but it just kind of comes off like... It's kind of cool. Okay. No, seriously, we've done at least 3 goodbyes now. So the Minnesota thing is covered. Now we're going to go make hot dish.
Yeah.
Torben says, that's a rough lap dance. Goodbye. And by the way, if Trim has made it through all of this, happy 12th birthday, Trim. We hope to see him again soon because Karl needs a rematch. Okay, see you.
Bye.